Welcome back. We are the Water Cooler Boys. This is episode number 2. As always, I'm your host, Tyler Howland. Alongside me today is Jonathan J. Wilson.
What up?
And also Cody C. Run Runnels.
Yup.
Before we get into it today, boys, Cody, I heard you went to California. Went back home to see the fam.
Yeah.
How was it, man?
Well, I got woken up by my lovely 7-year-old nephew every day at 6 a.m.
That's
bright
awesome.
and early. So I didn't sleep in at all. But it was great seeing the fam and everything. And then, went out golfing with some of the boys. Now,
It's always fun.
me and my best friend, we've been boys since 6th grade. We've known each other since 6th grade, okay? We're 40 years old. Between us, we got a missing kidney, 2 knee replacements, 2 kids. We've been through a lot,
Yeah.
okay? And there's things that, like, as we get older, you got to remember you're not 22 anymore. And so we're out there golfing. It's this beautiful course, Cross Creek, out in Temecula, California. It's up in the mountains. It's beautiful. No cell phone service works out there, so your phone's just shut off for the day.
Perfect.
It's beautiful. You hear the frogs in the woods. You hear deer running across the course. It's lovely, right? Well, my buddy had this guy that he works with come out and golf with us. And I hit this chip shot, and it rolls off the green. And it's like on the side of the hill. And I don't know why. He tried to like get it for me, and it's like, dude, I'm gonna play this shot. And he tries to get it, and he loses the ball, and it rolls down the hill more into the creek. And I'm just like annoyed. And I'm just like, so it's this hill. And I'm like, I gotta get the ball. And I see another ball in the creek, so I'm like, I'm gonna go down there and get 2 balls, right? Well, I start going down this hill. It gets a little slick, and it's darker at night, so I'm kind of not seeing that good. And I'm going down the hill. Now, mind you, I'm not 22 anymore, okay? I'm 40. And I'm going down the hill, and my feet start giving. I start sliding. Well, quick, all in a split second, I see a rock in the middle of the creek, and I'm like, I'm going to land on that and go across the creek, you know? So I start sliding, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh no! And I just go with it. I jump across, land on the rock while mud caked on my shoe from sliding, slip out, fall in the creek, splash. I'm soaked, dude. I have light gray pants on, and they are now charcoal gray, soaked. I get up so fucking quick because I can't let my boy that I've been friends with for 25 plus years see me laying in a fucking creek. I jump up, get out of the water, and he is laughing his ass off. But I got up before he seen me in the creek, but I'm soaked. I'm like, what was I thinking, dude? I ended up getting the ball. I'm pissed. I don't even finish the hole. I go back to the hole. I go back to the cart. He's laughing and he's giggling like a little schoolgirl. Just can't wait to tell the story to his wife. He's laughing so hard, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "What? What, dude?" He was laughing so hard he shit his pants. I'm like, bro, we're getting too old, dude. We're falling in creeks. We're shitting our pants. Our pets' heads are falling off. Everything's going wrong, dude. This motherfucker shit his pants. He can't sit in the cart in the last 2 holes. He has to ride on the back of my golf cart. I have the joke, and I'm like, beautiful, bro. You can't tell this story now without telling you shit your pants after, bro. We're grown men. This guy's a father of 2, and he's shit his pants on the golf course, laughing at me so hard. Oh, dude, I'm laughing so hard, dude. It was a good time. It was like good old time, dude. Like I don't drink anymore. I've been sober over 4 years. Like this wasn't drinking. This wasn't being dumb. It was just good, clean fun and 2 dudes that have been buddies since in 6th grade. Dude, it turned into a good story.
Well,
I wasn't laughing until he shit himself.
Well, dude, it all happened because that one guy decided to mess with your ball.
Yeah, dude, like if it ain't your ball, don't fucking touch it.
That was his
Straight up,
norm.
I fought with people for less of an offense on a golf course. Like you just don't do that. But I didn't know the guy. He worked with my boy, so I had to like, go get my ball.
That was his Normandy.
That was his Normandy, exactly, bro. Oh man, so turned out to be a good time. It was about 4 days away. Watched like some Seinfeld reruns with Pops. Checked out the All-Star game a little bit. I know we're gonna get into that. So it was a good weekend. Needed it. Glad to be back in Vegas, but it was nice seeing the food.
Yeah, a little refreshment week.
Yeah,
Dude, that is awesome. Anyway, speaking of All-Star Weekend, I thought for the most part for me, boring.
Dude.
They don't play defense. They don't try. And it's been going on for years, right? It's been 5-10 years where they really haven't tried. I think the last time that we had a good All-Star game was probably when like Kobe was playing.
Yeah.
You know?
The first one after Kobe passed, they went all out.
Yeah.
They haven't since, right?
Yeah.
And it's called the Kobe Bryant MVP. You should be embarrassed winning that award
Right.
if you ain't playing hard.
I
Like
agree.
that Kobe, whether he's your GOAT, he's not, whatever, like nobody could ever say there's no highlight of Kobe on the court not going hard.
Right.
I mean, there's the famous clip in The Last Dance of like Michael Jordan being like, that little Laker boy is coming at me tonight when he was like 18, 19 years old. Like it was known, even at an early age, Kobe was bringing it. And it just isn't there, dude. Like I've already mentioned, I'm a little older, so like the All-Star game was a must-watch when I used to watch back in the day growing up. They went at each other, and there was the highlight plays, but in the fourth quarter, it locked down like a real game, and it was fun to watch. It was always fun to watch.
Well, because like, I didn't watch any of it, like at all. Like I didn't even know when it was on. I didn't know the dunk contest was on. I didn't know any of those.
And why don't you watch it?
Because it's boring. Like,
right. And like
in
you
the
know they're not
previous
gonna play
years,
hard, right?
yeah, they're just like jogging up and down the court. Like, but I get it. So like, you kind of go from both sides of the coin here. So it's like a star player. Let's say you're a Laker fan, right? So let's say Luka plays hard and tears his ACL in the game. You're like, why the fuck did he try that hard in the All-Star game? You know what I mean? So like, you can see that side of the coin, but on the other side, it's like the All-Star game is I want the best players in the league to go at it with the best players in the league. That's what I want to watch. Like, I don't care if you guys are jogging and throwing alley-oops from 40. I don't care about that.
But that same thing that you say about like if they got hurt, these guys you hear about these pickup games at UCLA, like these guys all
they get
together
insane
in the offseason, and they say if you can get into Pauley Pavilion because it's like open gym, and these dudes will be there. They're going.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it be
but
that?
You know, so in that same breath, it's like those are like reps almost, like practice reps for those guys. It's like in-game reps versus All-Star game can be the same, but it's like now you're putting on a show in front of everyone. Like I get it, but it isn't now. And like I heard there's a bunch of breaks now. Somebody showed a clip. There was 2 hours and I think 50 minutes of breaks and commercials, right? And there was only like 40 minutes of real game. So like, why?
Yeah, dude. So now they have 4 teams,
okay.
right? They had an OG team where it was like basically all the best players you can think of that are American. I think it was all American.
Plus.
Like Lillard, Curry, Durant. LeBron would have been, but that's another thing. He like said, I'm not playing like an hour and a half before the game. It would have been like AD, guys like that. And then there was like a international team of like Jokic, Wemby, like would have been Giannis, like those guys. Then there was a Rising Stars team, and I forget what the other team was.
It's doing too much.
But so there was a young team playing the OGs, which would have been, it was like Dalton Connect, Stephen Castle. This is the game I watched because I was like, I want to see the young guys go against the OGs. And I'm thinking, if I'm a young dude, I'm not really an all-star, but I'm playing on the biggest stage I've played on because if I was curious to see if they would go at the OGs and make it interesting because you played a 4. Dude, if the Rising Star guys would have played defense, they had them. They had the OGs, and it was just like once I seen that, I'm like, I'm done, dude. And it was literally the Curry and Lillard are chucking up shots from half court, and it's just like it was brutal. It was brutal, and it was just like the no defense and not trying, and then like. There was like a couple guys playing D, and the OGs were trying to have to move the ball, and then like one guy on the Rising Star just like lets the guy catch it in the paint, dunk it. I'm just like, dude, if you just said, even when it got to like 31-31, like let's D up now, you had them, and they just didn't. And then when the OGs won and they played the other guys, that was all the NBA guys, it was a joke. I think they won by 16. It was literally just a 3-point shooting contest.
Yeah, to me, like. It's doing too much. Like, why is there 4 teams? It should be the best players in the West and the best players in the East. Go at it. Like, sure, it's cool to see the Rising Stars, but make them earn it. Become an all-star in the league first. Then you get the all-star nods. You don't just get a bid because, he's a Rising Star. He was amazing in college. He's supposed to be this monster. Like, let them become that and then put him in an all-star game. The 4 teams, again, I didn't even know that because I didn't watch it. So, like, it's just extra to me. Like, the only cool play I saw was Trae Young inbounded it off of Kyrie Irving's back, and then he went through Steph Curry's legs and like behind the back. That was cool, but like, Other than that, I didn't hear anything else about the game. Like,
Right.
I saw KD went on like a little Twitter rant. He was pretty much saying like fans are complaining about how they're not want to watch it. It's boring, this and that. And they're like, well, if you guys don't enjoy it so much, like we'll just take the time off. Like, okay, like
And that's the
we're
it's
the
a
ones
cul-
that pay you.
It's
like,
a culture issue.
Yeah.
The culture is wrong in the NBA.
yeah,
They think they don't owe us anything.
yeah,
They think we should be lucky to have them.
yeah.
And it's like, that's the problem, dude.
It's like, bro, we put
And
the
in
money
the
in your pocket.
same weekend, you had the USA-Canada hockey game, okay? And these dudes start throwing haymakers with each other 9 seconds into the match. 3 fights
Yeah, the
break
brothers.
out. And the fight, dude, my parents have never watched hockey ever, like ever. And when they saw the clip of it, they go, do they play again? Like, is there
Yeah.
another game of that?
Yeah.
Like, let's watch that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, hockey is gonna get going towards NBA at some point, because if the NBA doesn't come together and say, hey, what we're putting out there, I don't know what to fix it. It's literally the best. I've seen other things where like do the world versus USA, do this and this, make it a targeted score, so like
Yeah.
they go hard at a certain point. But basically, the best idea I've seen is the NBA just needs to get together and be like, we gotta play harder. Like, let's go for it. Let's like try to win.
So you want to know kind of where my idea, where I think it's kind of falling off, is ever since they started introducing the whole like load management thing and like players taking time off, and then like once all that stuff started happening, like the product as a whole has just gone way down. Like there's only 4 good teams, like maybe 5, and it's like Joel Embiid. Like I don't even know if that dude ever plays anymore. Ben Simmons never plays really anymore. The Celtics are good. The Cavs are good. The Thunder are good. The Warriors are okay. And the Lakers. Like outside of that, like there's not much disparity in the league. Like it's just you got the top 5 and then the rest of the league.
Well, I was talking about this with Tyler the other day. If I go to Tyler right now, I go, Tyler, I just saw on ESPN the Sixers lost by 30. What would your first question be?
Did Joel Embiid play?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't even know.
And that's a problem.
You don't know if they're playing or not.
Yeah.
If I said the Suns got beat by 30, your next
Did
question,
Durant play? Did
Durant
Booker play? Like what
Did
happened?
Beal play?
Like
You
that's-
don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
And as
it's
far
bad.
as, and especially as like from a betting standpoint, it's like I don't even know how to bet basketball anymore because like, what, are you even gonna play?
Right.
And you'll see sometimes they'll say like questionable rest. I'm like, what? Like
Right.
you're getting paid millions of dollars
A
to
lot
play
of
a
money.
child's game to shoot a basketball through a hoop. Get in the fucking game and play.
Right.
Like play.
It's a culture thing.
Yeah,
dude.
100%.
I'm
Look at that
getting-
Kawhi Leonard for instance. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
look at
you're
Kawhi
good.
Leonard. Like he
I
was
never
like,
know when he's playing.
he was a star when he was on the Spurs, like playing hard. And then as soon as he got traded and got his bag, he was like, why do I have to play?
Yeah.
I'll play every other day. I'm not going to play
The
back-to-back
money's
games ever again.
guaranteed. They're
Like,
chilling.
you see Paul George? He scores 2 points for the All-Star game. He's on vacation. Like, go back in the lab, bro. You're averaging like 13 points a game this year. Like, you're not good. And you got all this money. And like, why
It's
play
wild,
for
bro.
it? It's like, it brings me back to days like Kobe, when Kobe was playing, and LeBron was young, and Steph Curry was young. Like, these guys wanted it. Like, it was like,
I watched
If you
Lakers
heard-
every night as a
if-
Laker fan. Every night when
Yes.
Kobe was on the team, because when he was on the court,
Yes.
I knew what I was getting. And when I would pay money to go to games, I knew
Yes.
Kobe was going to give me something.
well, you knew he was going to play.
Yes, I knew he was going to play. Never
Like,
didn't even think about
no.
like, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Like, it wasn't even a thought. So it's a weird thing, man. I'm leaning to where I've watched more hockey this year, and I don't know the rule. I'm learning as I'm
I'm
watching.
the same way.
But dude, when I watch, these guys go hard.
Well, they
Dude,
wanna win.
When they're down 2 goals with 30 seconds, they're pulling their goalie,
Yeah.
firing 6 dudes, firing shots. Like, dude, it's like every game matters to them.
Well, you see like that in the NBA too. Like teams will be down, 5 or 6 with 30 seconds. Now they're just dribbling out. And the
Yeah.
teams aren't fouling them. They're not trying to get extra possessions. They're just trying to
Crazy.
get better.
It's crazy.
And it's like when the Christmas game was like LeBron versus Kobe or Kobe versus Steph or Steph. Like I was like, I have to watch that game.
Dude.
Now I'm just like when they come up with these big matchups like Thunder versus Cavs, I'm like, I'll watch it, man.
Christmas Day was like part of the like we opened our presents. My mom would be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna do presents in the morning. What time do the Lakers play?"
Exactly.
Knowing
Yes.
we gotta watch the Lakers
Yeah, it was
game.
an activity. Like it was something to do.
I haven't watched the Lakers on Christmas in years.
You know what's crazy? Is like I'm a Celtics fan, and like we're one of the best teams in the league, have been for the past couple of years. I don't even watch Celtics games unless it's playoffs or
That's it.
I don't watch them. Like I get alerts of big matchups and I'm like, no.
Bro, there's times
Don't care
where
less.
some of these guys take a playoff game off.
Yeah.
If they're up like 2-0.
Well, Embiid.
They'll like take a
Well,
playoff
Well, a lot
game
of players do it.
Embiid sat out for a sickness one year.
And you know what's crazy to me is like it's also their mentality too though, because I know like if Kobe was up 2-0 and they had Kobe want to sit this one, like he might leave. He'd be like, trade me. I'm not.
I
doing
saw a
this
clip
shit.
today.
Don't ever
Old school. I
fucking ask me.
remember Kobe dislocated his finger. The finger's pointing this way. He goes to the sideline, pops it in, goes to the line, and they're like, "You want out?" He's like, "No,
Yeah.
no."
I mean, will we ever see
LeBron
another?
would be carted off on a stretcher with a dislocated
Will
finger.
we ever see another player shoot free throws with a torn Achilles? No. We wanted to see them do it with a sprained ankle. Like
Right.
Kobe tore his Achilles, say, "Yeah, I'm shooting my free throws." Like
Yeah.
it is what it
And
is.
then
Like,
walked off.
it's just basketball as a whole. The product is just lame. It's boring. They asked Anthony Edwards about it. And he was like, "I don't know, lower the rim." Like you have to do something though, because it's boring. It's bad.
So I think we all know there's a problem, especially
Big
around
problem.
especially around All-Star Weekend. We could obviously kind of go into a more broad, full season approach, but for the All-Star game, how do we fix it, right? And I came up with a few things. I think we got to go back to traditional East and West,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Have something to play for. You know, you're representing your conference. You might be at a certain seed. I do think the game should be a regulation game, so 12-minute quarters.
Yes.
None of this 40 points and it's over,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
a target score. Which
Agreed.
target score is not horrible, but I do like a regulation game.
For whatever reason, they went hard with that. It was like 157, 155 the year after Kobe, and it was cool. Like
Right.
there was some drama. I remember watching it and was like, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then originally I was gonna say only top 5 seeds from each side get a player selected.
I don't agree with that.
So I changed mine to 10. So top 10 seeds, because now we have the play-in, right? So the top 8 seeds used to be make the playoffs, right?
I still don't agree with that though.
Well, so I'm just gonna try to kind of go into it. So if you're in the top 10 seed, you're currently either in a play-in situation or you're eligible to make the playoffs,
Sure.
right? So if you take players from both top 10s, right, and they play against each other, and you say the winner of this game gets home court advantage in the NBA Finals.
I like that.
The reason why I don't like it is because if I'm a team that's in the play-in or I need that spot, I'm not setting my start an All-Star game. Like, I need.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but
Where
they're
do you
going
get hurt?
anyways. They're going
They
anyways.
got selected.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell them not like.
Yeah, but they're going
I
anyways.
understand that, but like, if me personally, if I'm on a team, I'm not gonna try hard in an All-Star game. I don't want to get hurt. If my team, if I'm on the cusp, like,
But right now,
Again,
the
if
10
you
seed
take a
could be the
star-
12 seed in 2 weeks.
sure, but if you take a team that's 15 games under and they have an absolute megastar,
If
on their
it
team,
make,
like
this is for me.
I'm gonna
All
ball
those
out.
ideas, if they make some play hard, I'm in.
that's
So,
where I'm at.
So here's the caveat. I actually looked into the teams a little bit. You get one selection outside the top 10 seeds. Right now in the East, the only team that has like a real star outside the playoff race right now is Philadelphia. So they would probably select Embiid. It could be like nationally broadcasted, like, hey, here are all the All-Stars. The one player selected from the East that's not in the top 10
Yeah.
is Joel Embiid. And for the West, it would be, I believe, it would be Kevin Durant right now.
So how
'Cause
did
they're the 11 seed.
let me ask you a question? How did All-Star game picks used to work back in the day? Because it was never a captain like it
It
is
used to
nowadays, right?
be the starters were picked by the fans,
Yes.
and then the coaches from the previous year finals. So whoever the
Yeah,
coaches
yeah.
were in the finals, they pick the reserves.
Okay, see that now with the whole like captain thing, I'm just saying this is like, I don't know, I don't like it.
But for me, like, you have to put stakes into it. Money's not gonna like
Yeah,
a
but
grand
that-
prize.
yeah,
Money's
it's
not
not-
gonna do anything.
No,
I
it's
think
not-
if you
it's
do
not
like, hey, you get home court advantage in the NBA Finals, playoff eligible teams get their guys. You can maybe select 1 or 2 guys outside the top 10s if you really need a star
Yeah.
that deserves it. But I think you got to have stakes. If you create stakes, they'll play harder.
And the reason we're having to have this conversation is because they've ruined it. They could have
Right.
just kept it
That-
East West and
yes.
played hard, and
Yes.
we wouldn't have right.
Yes.
But it's like trying to find a way to get them to play. I loved when the Major League Baseball game did the home field advantage. I just watching that All-Star game, it was drama, dude.
Right.
I loved it, and I don't care. I don't the bet. If you're gonna win the World Series, you're gonna win the World Series. Home, like win the game, but.
Yep.
Where it got weird with the baseball is you have teams that weren't even going to be involved,
Right.
like pitching the 9th or 8th. Like,
Yeah.
but that I don't know, dude. I loved it when it was that, but baseball's just good anyways. So baseball doesn't really have a problem. It's fine just playing the game. I like watching these arms going against the best hitters. It's fun. Baseball's fine, but
Well, so and not to go
I
too
loved
deep
it
into
when it did it
baseball.
for baseball.
I don't want to make this whole conversation because we're talking about the NBA All-Star game,
Sure.
but baseball is starting to lean towards they're going to ruin theirs too. Like, I liked back when it was all the players wear their jerseys of their teams.
They're bringing that back.
Okay, good.
They brought that. They're bringing that back this
Okay,
year.
okay. That was one of my biggest issues because half the times there's some guys I'm like, I have no clue who this dude is. I've never
What
seen him
team's he
before.
on?
Because each team gets a guy, right? They get to send a guy.
I think every team is eligible for at least one player.
Yeah, so I'll see guys in there from like the athletics from like I've never seen this dude play a day in my life. But I mean, but it's cool. Like if I watch it, it's like he's in the A's jersey and he just goes crazy in the All-Star. I'm like, wow, maybe I need to check this dude out. Like it was good.
They're bringing that back.
Good, I like that. Okay.
So 2 other quick things, and this is just kind of fun.
Okay.
I think for the 3-point contest, they make it look so easy. Like when Damian Lillard's just hitting 3 after 3 after 3, it's like we're just kind of watching the guy go through
That does what he does.
go through
Yeah.
warm-ups.
Yeah.
I think they should either raffle off or like have everyone enter their name, and one fan gets to participate in the 3-point contest, and you'll see that it's not easy.
Like
they're airballing, the pressure of the crowd, they're missing, or they go off, and you're like, this freaking
What
guy
I think would be
went
cool,
off.
could be cool too, is each 3-point contest shooter gets a fan with them, and then you combine the scores of those guys.
That'd
So
be
like,
cool, too.
That'd be cool.
if Curry gets a dude that can't shoot to save
Right.
his life,
Right.
but then you have like Damian Lillard, this dude played high school
Something.
basketball.
Yeah.
You know, that would be fun to
Yeah,
watch,
that's
like
cool.
where you combine the scores, because it's like now the players are rooting on the contestants, like they're going to hang out with the player, and I think that'd be
Right.
cool. I
You
think
know,
the
as
dunk
we're sitting here
contest would be
thinking,
fun.
the only thing I can think of that might motivate them if you do East-West in the game is somehow award all the teams who win, the guys who win, like your team gets an extra off day. That's the only thing I think that would pump them up. Somehow you rework the schedule.
You get a
rest night.
Yeah, you
You
get an
get an
extra
rest
rest
day.
night, dude.
You get
We're gonna add a day off. If you guys lose, you're playing Thursday after the break. You might see these guys start flagrant fouling dudes and shit to get an off day the way they operate. I don't know, something to think about.
I think the dunk contest needs work too. I haven't watched the dunk contest.
Just get rid of
I
it.
don't know how-
Hey,
It's done.
Don't get rid of it. Okay, the reason why I agree with it is done is because like the big stars don't
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
You have like Mac McClung winning it. Like
It
I
used
don't
to
even
be a
know.
rite
If
of passage, bro.
I don't even know if he has playing minutes in an actual NBA game. Like,
A few years ago, but not.
and then everyone's hyping up his dunk and like he jumped over a dude, grabbed it, dunked, and then dunked on the ball with his other hand, and everyone's like going crazy. I'm like, bro, what?
It's
like,
athletic, but
there
it's
hasn't been
like
a Vince Carter days and like when
ruined it.
Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard. Like, no, he didn't jump over him, right?
I think so. I think you did.
when Vince
Oh,
Carter
over
said
Shaq,
it's
maybe.
over.
Maybe Shaq.
It was
When
one of
Vince
them.
Carter said it's over,
Yeah.
it's over. It was the whole dunk contest was over.
To be-
the rest of it because
I think the last good one was when Aaron Gordon was doing it.
Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine, to be
Was-
fair, had a
was
good one.
electric.
Had a really
That was
good
the
one.
last
electric.
good
That was a good one.
they started doing stuff that we hadn't seen.
But it's like now you guys got like Mac McClung. I don't even. that's the only person I know because he won it. I don't know who else was even in the dunk contest.
So actually, a fun thing for that, I think. Have you ever watched those shows? God, I don't even know what it's on, but it's all these like people who are just good at dunking. So
Oh yeah.
and they like
yeah.
they score them and rate them and move them on.
Yeah.
Take one of those guys and bring him in against the NBA guys.
I just don't think the
doesn't care.
NBA. I don't think the
They're
NBA
just
want
gonna
to
play.
lose to
But
them.
if you
so
see
they
a guy
won't.
come out doing a 540 or doing like some crazy
Yeah, but then,
crazy
like,
dunks,
NBA guys, if they wanted to,
or
us
just
as fans know if an NBA player wants to turn it on and do some crazy shit for a dunk, like they're not losing to
right, but,
Schmojo that does it in his gym all the time on TikTok.
right, but
Like,
these guys are like
I understand it. Sure,
that's all they do.
I get it,
Like,
but you tell
They
me right
got
now, you
48 inch
think
verts.
if Aaron Gordon's in that dunk contest and some dude from Lifetime who has
It's not,
500
it's not lifetime. It's the actual
I'm just
professional
saying,
dunkers, but yeah.
sure, but like they're not beating Aaron Gordon if he wants to try.
Maybe.
But again, like you said, there's no like they don't care about the money. Like $1 million is not gonna do nothing to a guy who just signed for $60 million a year. Like, you don't care about that $1 million. He'd rather save his legs and not get hurt.
But there's no competitive. They're not competitive. They don't care. It's the only way I can put it. Like Kobe, like did the dunk contest. He won it, and that was it. I'm done. He did it. Michael Jordan won it a couple times. Dominique Wilkins won it. Like the dudes used to do it.
I wish we would
It's
have
just
seen
a
like
culture
LeBron
issue
Prime
with
do it.
everything. It all boils down to just the culture they make. I don't mind that they make a ton of money, but like it's gotten to where it's just like an entitlement or I don't know. It's a culture thing that I don't know if they can fix. I don't
No,
know.
I think it's a culture thing for sure, but it's also a mentality thing because some of these players. So you have players who are like, I just made $500 million. Like I'm about to play my heart out for this city. Or you have the other side where it's like, I just got paid. Like I don't need to try anymore.
But you're like it's what we're saying. This isn't just the All-Star game. They're
No,
not
I'm
playing
saying in
their
general.
heart. They're not playing their heart out.
That's what I'm saying in general, like in normal games as well.
Yeah, it's a culture thing, dude.
And I think, like in basketball, like the biggest stars don't play in these things. Like Otani's the biggest star in baseball,
maybe
and he said, "I'm gonna hit the home run derby." Like that's what we want.
maybe less playoff teams and a bye for the top 2 seeds or something. Maybe less playoff teams.
Maybe.
Do we need to see the 7, 8,
9,
9, and 10 battle it out? I don't give a shit.
No.
They ain't gonna do nothing in the next round.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 teams. I don't know. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I think of. But it's just less money for the owners. It's less so like these sports will never lower. They'll never go backwards, right? Like roughing the passer is never going to get forgiven more.
No.
It's always
Yeah.
going to get worse. Playoff teams they're never going to take teams away from a league. They're never going to.
Flopping calls, things like that, are never
Like,
gonna get better.
You know what I mean? But that's the only thing I can think of. Or
It might be
man,
another thing-
relegation. I don't know.
Could be another thing too with basketball is that like it's soft nowadays. Like anytime you touch a player, it's a foul. Like back in the day, like now, like you have to give them space to land. Like back in the day, you weren't getting that, bro. Like you're lucky to get the shot off. Like
And dude, like, there's no fighting in the games anymore. Not that I'm saying I need to see fights, but like,
I want another
you
gorilla in the middle.
come off the bench and you're not in the game. You're suspended or thrown out of the game. It's soft, dude.
Yeah.
The Heat and Knicks back in the 90s used to, it was like, if they were losing the game and somebody was getting fouled hard and then they were going to throw some, you knew you're going to catch a punch and it'd be a flagrant, technical, and let's go, move on. Nobody's tossed and let's play.
Maybe they need to add like a penalty box in basketball, like hockey does.
They-
You get a 5-on-4 for a minute.
Yeah, they ain't built like that. Those boys ain't built like that in hockey.
Could you imagine a 5-on-4 basketball game
Dude.
for a minute?
Oh, dude, there'd be guys
Oh,
going,
bro.
hell yeah, now I really don't gotta play D.
Well, best of luck to the NBA.
Yeah.
But let's get into baseball.
Yeah, Sayonara, NBA. Baseball
That better be
season.
almost the last we ever talk about.
Yeah, for a while. So, pitchers and catchers reported.
Yes,
Woo!
sir.
Spring training.
Now we're talking.
Spring training right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Baseball season is upon us. I'm excited. I think it'd be cool to, because pitchers and catchers report, we go over our top 10 pitchers and catchers this week. If you tune in every week, we'll go over 2 new positions every week. So next week we would go over the corners, first and third.
Hold on, time the fuck out. If we're gonna talk about corners, we need to get into this Rafi Devers bullshit that's going on.
Oh my god.
Because personally, sure he's the fucking face of the Red Sox.
well, yeah.
You don't tell your team I'm not doing what you want me
So
to do.
what
I'm
happened,
only
Ty?
playing third.
Just so in case people don't
Yeah, so the Red Sox traded for Alex Bregman, Gold Glove winner.
sign him.
They signed
Signed
him.
him. So he,
So a 3-year 120.
yeah, $40 million a year.
Yeah.
3 years, $120 million. He was a Gold Glove third baseman last year. Kind of towards the end of his prime, but still a really good player. And they asked Rafael Devers, "Hey, are you going to be moving to DH so Bregman can play third? Are you going to be splitting time with him at third base? Like, what do you think?" And Rafi Devers pretty much just said,
No, he didn't pretty much. He said no.
He
And did he go home?
no.
I don't know, but they asked him, "Will you be willing to go?" No, I'm a third baseman.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a third baseman.
in my mind, like I don't mind him saying that if he was a good third baseman. Alex Bregman, out of his prime defensively, is a 10 times better defender than Rafael Devers is at third base. And for him to say, "I'm not moving," it's mind-boggling to me. Like you get to DH, bro. You get to hit. You know how many star players in the MLB be like, I don't have to play. I just get to hit. Ask Trout what he wants.
There's guys
to do.
that
Trout
don't
will
like
DH.
it. There's guys that don't like it.
Sure,
It's
but-
hard staying like into the game. But the Red Sox were the worst defensive team in baseball last year, other than the Marlins. And a big reason was Rafi Devers
Yes.
had a ton of errors at third base and doesn't get to plays that a guy like Bregman would,
Yes.
right? And I would love to know, like, did Devers put in work in the offseason? Did Devers come into camp in shape? Like, the Red Sox made this move.
Not because of, well, for Bregman's bat, but not for Bregman's bat, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They
but
needed
it's
a
like
defensive third baseman.
they're trying to get better, and if you're part of the problem, like a lot of baseball guys would go wherever they need me to play, right? Like wherever they need me to play. Now, no. And if what blows my mind is like, does Devers think he's better than Bregman, or is he just like being selfish?
It's
or
an ego
what?
thing. He
It's
thinks he's
crazy.
the star.
Dude. Did you see what Tristan Casas, the first baseman, said?
Mm-mm.
He flat out said Rafi Devers should be third base. Bregman should move to second. Like, I don't know. Does anybody pay a
Well,
second
so-
baseman $40 million a year?
So-
Well, so hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm sorry,
We're
but
good.
like I get why Tristan Casas did it. Like it caused locker room issues if he's like, I think Devers should move too, because now like Devers is the star of the Red Sox. Like he's the Red Sox. So if your other infielders are going at him, like that's definitely what you don't want.
But that's all like a
Think about it,
he's the
Tristan
star of
Casas-
the Red Sox. He's the the Red Sox. They haven't made the playoffs.
I get it, but if Casas comes out and says, I think Devers should move or stop being selfish, like that's a
Yeah,
horrible
but
look.
what about locker? Like, what if you're Bregman? You're like, Jesus, this guy. I'm not even in the
I
club.
mean, there's probably things behind closed doors. Casas probably did tell Devers, like, dog, we need Bregman at third. But to media, they're media trained. He's not going to come out and bash this
That's
guy.
not a media trained answer. You're telling what a guy should.
So what
do.
should he say in that situation?
He should say that's you know what. They're both great ball players. I'm sure management and Alex Cora are going to figure it out. You don't say you should do this and he should be this because that's not what the team wanted or is trying to do.
I don't know.
It puts the team. Whatever happens, it's now opening day. What are they going to cut to when the camera hits? Where's Bregman? Where's Devers? Where's Casas? They're gonna. It's like now you guys are on high alert. Everybody, you've created drama. This got out. It's not. They didn't keep it in. Media train would have been keeping this shit in house, and it's not.
Well, Devers hate me. I don't disagree. I don't agree with what Devers said at all. Like he's just being selfish. I do agree with what Casas did. I think as a good teammate, that's something you should do. Like
Yeah, but Bregman's your teammate too. What if Bregman's coming over?
if you're
there to
my
play third?
star on my team, like I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna have your back.
I'd be
as
like,
I
hey
should.
man, we added a great player in Bregman. I'm sure it'll get figured out. We need both their bats in the lineup, and I'm sure they'll get defense figured out. We need to win. We haven't made the playoffs, and
I think that would have been a better answer. I
Yeah.
still don't dislike what he said. I think it's still, in support of his teammates.
So let me try to sell you because I agree with Devers and Casas.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Turn the podcast off. That's wraps.
Let me try to sell you.
Okay.
Okay. They have pretty much confirmed that Yoshida is not capable of playing in the outfield. So his spot right now would be DHing every day. That's one.
They signed that dude and he can't play in the outfield?
They don't like to play him defensively at all.
Wow.
So he's slotted in as their DH to start the season. That's one. Two, if you go Devers at third and Bregman at second, you got two star players. Devers obviously needs work at third base. I think Bregman can make a seamless transition into second base. They don't have a second baseman right now. Their second baseman out of camp should be Christian Campbell if they never got Bregman. He's not proven. He's never played a major league inning in his life. So you go Devers, Story, Bregman, Casas. That's a pretty damn good infield.
I agree.
Devers probably will still continue to make errors, but but if you have Bregman there and you put Devers in the DH role, now you have a bad right fielder because you got to play Yoshida in right, and you're probably not going to be able to bring up Robin Anthony to play the outfield because you're going to have Yoshida in right, center fielder. What's his name?
Rafael or Sedan.
And in left, they're going to have Durant. So you almost have to play this game where like you got to pick and choose. Do you want a rookie at second base?
I'm fine with all of that,
Yeah.
but why hasn't this been discussed with the Red Sox, Devers, Bregman, Casas? They're all not on the same page?
So that's
and
bad.
that's a problem.
That's bad on manager and that's bad on GM.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you got to handle that in house and you got to PR train
They
the
should
shit out
have
of
all.
those guys
I mean,
to say the right things.
Devers' answer and response looks like he hasn't been told nothing.
Right.
Casas don't. He looks like he's just firing it off the cusp. Like
Yep.
they haven't. They don't got it figured out. It's a weird start to spring
Yeah.
training.
Well, to me too, it's like what you said. I 100% agree with. Like that's a fine fielding formation, but again, Devers can't be talking like
It
that.
hasn't been talked about.
There
Obviously.
is-
I agree with that.
There is bad looks on the Boston Red Sox right now, and it sucks because coming into this year, they were supposed to be a team that's building towards, a championship team. Like
Yeah.
they have been putting the pieces together. They've been signing pitchers. They got Garrett Crochet. They got
Walker Buehler.
Walker Buehler. Duran's a star now. Sedan Rafael is figuring out center field. Story's there. Tristan Casas is becoming good. Like their team is coming together, and then this comes out, and it's like, well your star doesn't even. He's just.
It's a weird
Like,
start.
what do you do? What do you do with Rafael Devers if your management?
Well, and
Well,
Nothing.
just think about opening day, ground ball to
Yeah.
Devers, and he boots that mother.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And like,
dude,
if you're
it's-
like again, dude, like you said, if you're Bregman, you're like, what the hell did I just come into?
yeah, like I just signed. I thought you
Yeah.
guys wanted me.
What the hell? Like you guys didn't even ask Devers.
Did they talk to Bregman
Yes.
about playing second base? I had no idea.
But should he too? Like, did you go to Denver's like, hey, we're thinking about signing Bregman? Like,
Obviously
what do
they
you
didn't.
think? Obviously not.
They,
right?
they didn't, and he was obviously upset by the signing.
Is Denver signed?
Yeah, he
A lot
signed
of,
the
like,
monster.
big deal.
He did sign
Signed a
it.
big
So
deal.
he's the
Huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, so this is another thing too. They told Devers when they gave him that contract, he was their third baseman till his contract was up. Like they
For
gave
the
him that.
foreseeable future.
So they told him that, and like that's where it kind of gets tricky because it's like,
I
well,
gotta
you
hear-
tell him that, and then
I gotta
maybe
hear Bregman talk. I
Well,
can't-
Bregman said, "I'll play wherever you want."
Okay, so
He's
maybe
up.
it'll be handled. He'll play it second.
it's just like as a fan of the organization, like from a Red Sox fan, I'm like, damn, bro. Like, because they asked Judge, I remember, I think it was last year, they said, I think when he was struggling, they were like, do you mind if the Yankees move you down? He was like, I don't care where I go in the lineup, wherever the team needs me, and,
Yeah.
and whatever I can do to help.
That's not what Denver
That's
said.
what you want to hear.
Right.
I agree
They're-
with that.
like, if you
Even
go,
if he doesn't believe it, that's what you want.
if you go to the Dodgers and they're like, Mookie, we can't play you in right field, like, Mookie's never going to be like, I'm a right fielder. That fool went to shortstop and said, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want out of your stars. Mike Trout, going to right field this year because he knows that he's got to get his legs healthy. He said, I'm fine there. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go there and I'll play whatever the team needs me. And they asked him where he wants to be in the lineup. He was like, I hit everywhere all last year. He's like, I don't care where I go. He was like, I'll be fine wherever I'm at in the lineup.
Right.
That's what you want to hear from your star. Not, nah, I'm a third baseman, bro.
Yeah. Well, the thing that sucks is they're in such a they're probably the most competitive
Division.
division in baseball. I mean, if you think
Orioles,
about
Yankees, Red Sox.
it, Orioles, Yankees are going to be great. The Rays are always
Rays are
just
gonna be-
sneaky,
no,
bro.
Rays
They
are-
win 90 games.
Easy on the
Yeah,
Yankees are going to be great stuff.
I think they'll be good.
I got them. Well, we'll do our preview, but I got them out
Sure.
of the playoffs.
But like Boston Yankee games, like those they play so many times in the year that could decide a playoff
Yeah,
spot.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know West might actually be the most comp.
AL West.
Okay.
They got some comp over there, bro. The
I mean-
Padres look good.
They got three
Diamondbacks
minor
look
league
good.
Oh, NL West. Okay.
NL West. You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
AL
No, I
West.
said
Yeah.
NL. I probably said NL. It's in the NL West with. No, definitely AL West. No.
That's why I thought you said.
That hurts my heart.
No, the Padres are good. Dodgers are good. Diamondbacks are good. Giants
Diamondbacks
are
won
making.
89 games and didn't make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
Giants are making moves. Rockies suck, but you got 4 good teams over there.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
division.
that's the best.
All right. Well, we're getting a little off track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get into top 10 starting pitchers.
Yeah, Rafael Devers and Red Sox.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Okay, let's get into top 10 pitchers. All of us created our top 10 list. We're going to go from 10 to 1, and we'll kind of go over each guy. Cody, let's start with you. Who did you have as your number 10 starting pitcher going into 2025?
Speaking of those Boston Red Sox, I got Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, who they got, the big lefty.
You have him at 10?
I have him at 10, 98 plus, mile an hour fastball, nasty slider.
Yeah.
Watched him a lot last year because there was talks of him getting traded to the Dodgers. Dodgers were on him big time trying to get him. He's nasty.
Yeah.
He's good. He great command of the fastball, low in the zone. He's a big strikeout guy. I got him at 10.
Okay.
Like-
Did you have him on your list?
He is on my list.
Okay.
But it's not a 10.
Okay. So I did not rank him.
Let me put. Hold on. Before let's preface this. This guy is a pitcher. Like he pitched his entire life. He pitched in the minor leagues. He should have the best list here. So
Well,
curious how he doesn't have Garrett Crochet in his top
Can I ask
10.
why?
you guys can judge in the comments. For me, it was his first year starting. He's
Okay.
usually been a bullpen guy, so I want to see it again.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, he was on the White Sox last year. I'm gonna be honest with you, didn't watch a lot of White Sox games. So I know he's dominant. I know he's upper 90s, filthy breaking
See, that's
ball.
like the farm team for the Dodgers. We have told a lot of trades. So I'm always kind of catching the White Sox at 4 o'clock
Yeah.
Pacific time
Yeah.
and just seeing who's the next guy we're going to trade
Yeah.
for.
Dial up Dave.
So-
But yeah, like, hey, okay. Oh, Kopech throws 100? Yeah, let's go get him. Oh, Crochet, lefty 100? Yeah, let's get him too.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
Hundy.
so I didn't get to see enough of him.
He's good.
That's just the honest truth. But the other thing is, first year starting, I want to see him replicate that.
That's fair.
And in Boston, he's gonna have a big opportunity to do that.
Big stage.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he's got a good staff around him, so
Yeah.
he can fit in just fine.
Number 10.
You didn't say you had number 10.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So
just keep going.
yeah, so my number 10. Played against him in high school. Very volatile pitcher. I got Blake Snell as my number 10 pitcher. Not gonna be an innings eater that throws 200 innings a year.
Okay, that's not a bad pick.
I think he's a dominant strikeout pitcher. He's gonna be a 5 and dive guy for you, but in that Dodgers rotation, he might be the opening day starter.
Not even top 15 for me.
Wow.
Well, so the reason why I agree with you, go ahead, keep going.
So obviously the injury concerns are there. He didn't pitch too much last year. He went 104 innings, 145 strikeouts though. 5-3 record with a 3.12 ERA. He's won 2 Cy Youngs in this league, one in the AL, one in the NL. And I believe, besides the Japan series to start the season for the Dodgers, I think he's your one. I think he's the Dodgers one this year.
I don't disagree.
I think he's the opening day starter post Japan.
I don't disagree.
I disagree.
So,
For me.
in Blake Snell's K per nines are
Unreal.
top 2, top 3 in the league every year. But again, like you say, he's going to give you 5 and he's gone. Like, that's the only downside I think of Blake Snell.
Yeah.
He's not on my top 10, but I mean, I can see why you have him there.
For sure.
My number 10. This one's a shocker.
Are we
but
gonna shit on him?
you guys are probably going to crucify me here, but
Okay.
you got to hear me out.
Okay.
I got Hunter Green from the Cincinnati Reds at 10. No, listen. Hear me out. No, listen.
He made strides
Listen.
last year. Go ahead.
Okay, but listen.
Go ahead.
Drafted in the second round. He was supposed to be a monster. Had a very mid-season his first season. Next year in 2023, he has another mid-season. But his K numbers are still there, right? In 2024, he makes unreal strides. He has a 2.75 ERA.
That's good.
He's second in the league in average against, only behind Blake Snell. He has only trails Snell and Spencer Strider in K percentage since 2022. Throws 100, has an insane pitch mix.
Great fastball.
I think he knows that the Cincinnati Reds need him, and I think that's why and now he has something to build off of. 2022, 2023 wasn't great. I think because he just made it to the bigs and figuring it out. Figures it out in 2024, has something to build on. I can see this kid breaking out this year.
Okay. So I know you're gonna have a lot here. For me, I like to, if a guy has one good, really good season, I want to see it again usually.
That's where I'm at too.
He's more around 18 to 20 for me, maybe 22. Somewhere
That's where I've
there.
seen him on most lists, but
Yeah.
that's my breakout game.
Okay.
I'm rocking with
What do
it.
you?
Not even in my top 15.
That's fine.
I know he throws hard.
Yeah.
When I've seen him, his fastball is very, very straight. It's fast, but it's straight.
Can pulls up with it.
I'm not. I don't have him. I don't have.
I
him.
like the projection though because
He just has all the metrics of
at
becoming
the
a
end of
star.
the season, if he dominates, he's gonna look like a genius. If he has a down year, he's gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
it just is
this
what it is.
it's make or
Taking a
break.
flyer. Taking a flyer.
And then, I mean, if he has, so let's say he has
There's
a,
so many good arms.
let's say he has a 3 ERA and his K numbers are still top 5, top 6. Like,
He's a top 10, 15 pitcher.
Yeah.
If he has a 3 ERA and throws 170, 180 innings, of course.
and I didn't have his innings there. I wish I did. I forgot to put that down, but I know he pitched a good amount of innings this year, and I think he's young. He's developing that kind of fastball where again it might be straight, but it's putting fools out. Like
Right.
kids are striking out to him. So
For sure. Number 9, Cody.
Number 9 is the real number 1 for the Dodgers, and
Yeah.
he'll be the number 1, and he'll probably start opening day as he did last year. Tyler Glasnow. When Glasnow's healthy and
He's
pitching,
he's not in my top 10. But
you want to talk about strikeouts and a nasty downward slider. Tyler Glasnow is filthy.
That is not the name I thought you were going to
I
say.
got going Yamamoto.
I thought you were too.
I actually got Yamamoto higher than him on my list, but Glasnow will be the opening day starter.
Wait, time out. But how is he your 1 if you've got Yamamoto?
I'm just saying Glasnow's going to be the opening day starter. That's who they're going to go, but I like Yamamoto. I'll get to
Sure,
Yamamoto.
sure.
So, just real quick, sorry. Injury concerns. I think he's had probably the most, out of all 3 lists that we have today, besides someone who we're going to get to later, which we all know who that is, he's probably had the most injury concerns.
Agree. Dodgers, with the embarrassment of riches we have in the pitching staff, are going to a 6-man rotation. He's literally going to pitch once a week. And when he was a guy that got an extra day, there was a couple times during the season before he got hurt, they give him the extra rest, and I mean, it was double-digit strikeout numbers,
Yeah.
low hits, doesn't walk a lot.
He's electric.
He's
electric.
He's nasty. He goes right at hitters. He just has that big game dog in him. And I didn't realize how good he was until when he went out on injury. The Dodgers clubhouse, it was a huge hit. They were like, "We're done." And Dave Roberts had to get the guys together and have a talk. And it was like them losing Glasnow. They've only had him for a year. The Dodgers all talked about it. They were like, "Oh no, they feel like they can win every time when he's on the mound, and they win a lot when he pitches." He's a dog.
Yeah.
I know he pitched the most innings he's ever pitched this last season, and he got hurt. But if it's stuff and they're healthy, because I mean, I have guys on my list that I have high, and the thing is, you can say injury, but if they pitch, like.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I built this list off of assuming that these guys stay healthy in 25.
Okay.
Because you can knock off a bunch of pitchers because of their health concerns, but if Tyler Glasnow has a fully healthy season, he's a Cy Young candidate.
And I'm looking at it too, like, big game, you need to win. This guy's on the mound. Do you like your chances?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, Crochet has that power stuff.
Yeah.
Glasnow, power.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see a lot of my list is it's power.
He's also 6'8".
He's sick. He's intimidating on the mound. He's just, dude. And I'm a Dodger fan, so that helps. Watching that guy pitch, I didn't get to watch him a ton when he wasn't a Dodger, but watching him as a Dodger,
I mean, even on Tampa, he was good. So like,
right, but I didn't like watch him. Like I watched every one of his starts.
Did he pitch against you guys in 2020?
In the World Series, yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah. And Snell did too.
I forgot that's when Snell wasn't Tampa.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Damn, what a rotation they had back then.
we beat them, but they were young.
Yeah.
Glasnow, that was young. That was their first time. But Glasnow's a dog. I got him at 9.
Yeah.
All right. My number 9 is Cole Reagans of the Kansas City Royals. Dominant lefty, kind of came into his own this year. The reason why I got to watch more of him than maybe a Crochet is they got Bobby Witt, so I'm tuning into Royals games. He went 11-9 with a 3.1 ERA on the Royals, which they were actually a pretty decent team this year. But 186 innings, 223 Ks, 1.1 WHIP.
It's pretty good. I didn't watch him enough. He was just outside of my list, just based on looking at his numbers. Didn't watch him enough. He never really caught my attention, but I know he's good. I haven't watched him enough, so I didn't have him on my
He's
top
one
10.
of my take a flyer. Kind of like I do want to see him do it again. He's the only guy I put in my list that it's kind of a little more unknown, just because it was his first kind of breakout year. But I think his stuff's that good.
I think I kind of have another shocker here at 9. The MLB world kind of forgot about this dude because he got hurt his first start. But at number 9, I got Spencer Strider from Atlanta Braves.
Speaking of the MLB world, don't even have him on my list. As soon as I heard his name when you brought him up on something, I went, oh my God, I don't have him on my list.
I don't have him on mine either.
He's not on my list. Strider's nasty.
Yeah, the reason why I have Strider, obviously, when he's throwing 100 plus. He's got some of the best pitch mixes in the game. In 2023, his last full season, he led the league in pretty much all K metrics. He's in the top 95 percentile for whiff rates, chase rates, the whole 9. We all know Spencer Strider. He's going to throw gas. I'm excited. He tore his UCL, so he's got a fresh one not coming back. I'm excited to see if he comes back. Does he unleash it? Does he, kind of baby a little bit? If he, takes a couple starts and gets going, I think Spencer could be a big candidate.
I agree. Just like Glasnow, he's got top 10 stuff.
Yep.
I left him just off my list just because he was out the entire season, but I think he's going to be right back in the mix. So.
I'm not angry at that. I literally just, as I was doing my list, he was just kind of off of it.
Well, yeah, we missed him all 2024. Nobody saw him, but 2023, I remember watching him. He had the nickname Quads, like everyone knows.
Quadzilla.
He's a monster. I think he's going to come back and become his own again.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Number 8, Cody.
Number 8 was not big on this guy all year. Then, magical run this postseason.
No.
And this guy, when we needed him, stepped up and looked electric in the playoffs. Yamamoto of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I got at 8. I got him just above Glasnow because I seen Yamamoto on the biggest stage. Yankee hitters, they weren't hitting. He was nasty.
I mean, his potential is.
His potential, I love that he got better. And another guy going with these Dodgers going the 6-man rotation. He pitched like the way they did the postseason. His Flaherty was kind of the one pitching on short rest or timed rest. They kept giving Yamamoto the extra day, and every time he did, he was nasty.
Yeah.
We won his starts every time in the postseason. Yamamoto, when he's got that fastball going 98, 99, and that splitter falling off the table, he's filthy.
So the reason why I love that pick for you, especially too, is he's done it on the big stage now. A lot of pitchers, not to go back to the Dodgers again, but Clayton Kershaw struggled early in his career in the big stage. Yamamoto, first time in the postseason, first time in the World Series against the Yankees lineup who had Soto, Judge, Stanton, all these top hitters, and he mowed them down.
He
left
pitched
and
good
right.
against the Padre lineup too.
Exactly. So he did it under the bright lights against the best teams in the league, and I think that's why he's definitely primed for another for a good sophomore year for sure.
Yeah, and I think you sold me a little bit with the postseason stuff. When I was looking at the numbers, only 90 innings in the regular season, first time in the big leagues, like getting used to the new ball, getting used to the new atmosphere, all those things.
He got better.
He got better.
And I'm going off of that trajectory.
Yes.
Is he I was like, we need Yamamoto pitching tonight when it got to
Well, and
postseason.
it's rare for pitchers to pitch that well in their first season, except for we know who it is. But so for him to get better in the season and then pitch in the postseason the way he did, I like him there at 8 for you.
For sure. Number 8 for me might be a little bit too low on this list because he was so dominant early in his career. But he kind of just had another breakout. He's 37, 38 years old. I got Chris Sale. Chris Sale's my number 8.
Yeah.
I got Sale.
Sale's also on the list.
Looking back,
Yeah.
looking back, I do think I might have placed him a little low, but he is aging, so he's got to repeat that again next year. I mean, he had a huge workload. He goes 177 innings, 225 strikeouts, which is gross. 18-3 ERA or 18-3 record, 2.38 ERA. I mean, that's just, it was vintage Chris Sale. Reminded me of when he was on the White Sox, when he was with Boston a little bit. He's dominant. I put him at 8 because some of the other guys have just been more consistent. But
I do want to say, I do like why you have him there and your reasoning behind why he's that low. It makes sense. He is getting older.
yeah,
I do want to say, apparently, I don't have him on my list, which is crazy to me because this guy I have at number 8, I would have definitely put Sale over this guy.
Sure.
But I looked at his stats and maybe in my head too, I was like, maybe he's getting older. I don't want to put him on the list, but yeah, that's a good pick.
Who you got at 8?
Well, now that I don't have Chris Sale, I hate this pick, but it's like I picked this guy strictly off just being consistent.
Okay.
He's a guy that you can throw out there. He's going to give you a good outing. I have Logan Webb on the Giants.
Eaton.
No, listen, hear me out.
I have him on my
I
list.
hate your pick too.
Listen.
I have him on my list.
So I don't hate the pick. I hate it because I don't have Sale on this list. But the reason why I like Logan Webb is going to give you 200 innings pitched every season. Like that's what he's done the past 5 seasons. He's a ground ball artist. He doesn't really strike out too many people just because he doesn't have the filthy. But he's going to give you ground balls. I think he had 46% ground ball rate last year, which was good for
He
top
pitches
4.
in a great pitcher's ballpark.
That's
Yes.
another thing I was going to go out here. He's in a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Like the home run ball's never going to kill him. He's third in the league in quality starts since 2021 at 77. So he keeps Giants in games. The Giants are never going to get blown out with Logan Webb on the mound. So
Yep.
if I'm the Giants and any team in the league, like I can throw Logan Webb out there and feel comfortable. I don't have to worry he's going to get hurt. Is he going to only go
You
4
count
innings?
on him.
I couldn't agree more.
I don't have him as like a top
Just he's not dominating.
because like
Let me say that.
if he's pitching in a big game in Yankee Stadium, am I thinking he's? I
Could be.
don't know.
It'll all be in the World Series.
Well, if I throw him in the postseason, like I'm not worried I'm gonna be down 5-0 when he's coming off the mound. Like I know it's gonna be maybe 2-0, 2-1, 2-2.
He to me has a little bit of the stuff of like I feel like
Kyle
It's
Hendricks.
creative. He's creative.
like
It's not,
Kershaw
Yes.
righty and like in a postseason when you kind of get a day to prepare for him or like you're really locked in. I feel like that kind of stuff like. If hitters can lay off the low and make him come up into the zone,
Yeah.
he can get hit hard. But
Well,
he's a good pitcher. He is consistent. I agree with everything you said. Just for me, not on my top.
Well, and to go a little bit off what you said too is if he plays the team in the postseason and he goes to like Yankee Stadium, like.
It'll only be in the World Series.
Well,
but
okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's say he goes to, I don't know, Mets Stadium when the
If
ball.
you can lay off his sinker
That's what I'm
low,
saying. But even in the
he
Giants,
doesn't have something to come up.
yeah, but even the Giants part is going to get crushed up high.
Right. I'm just.
You know.
He doesn't have that. If you can lay off like
Yeah.
where Yamamoto, like yeah, you can lay off, but he still might come 99.
He's throwing 99 up and in. So.
Sure. Number 7.
Number 7, got a lot of respect for this guy in the last postseason. He almost put the team on his back and beat my Dodgers. I got Garrett Cole at 7. That
I
dude,
have him on my list.
He's also
that
on my
dude,
list.
when he's healthy and he's consistent, a lot of guys go to New York and can't handle the big stage. I feel like he's almost gotten better. He's a dude, and he's a big country boy up there. Just pounds the strike zone. He'll have big strikeout numbers with a low pitch count. Doesn't walk anybody. Goes right at hitters. I got a lot of respect for him watching him this last year in the World Series against the Dodgers. I have Garrett Cole at 7.
Well, he's one of my favorite guys to watch pitch because he has dominant stuff, but he locates.
Yes.
Watching him paint an outside corner fastball at the knees consistently is so
Got
fun to watch
brunt,
for me.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally were. He was pitching in the 7th, 8th inning in the World Series, and nobody was getting loose in the pen. 'Cause it was
Yeah.
like, it's him.
Yes.
Yep.
Right, and then obviously he had the fifth inning. The defense let him down, and he had a
His
lapse.
PFC,
Like,
yeah.
but like, he was swinging that series back to it would have been a game 5 in Yankee Stadium, and I would not have been comfortable watching if that series got to 7, knowing Cole was going game 7.
Right.
Garrett Cole's big.
It would have been game 6, right?
Well, no, if he
One
would have
game
won, it would have been game 5 if they win, and now we're going back to Dodger Stadium and Yankees win. If Garrett Cole would have been lined up for game 7,
Yeah.
like if it got to that.
Number 7 for me, Logan Webb. So basically for everything that you said, 204 innings.
I'm sorry, I got to say one more thing on Cole.
Go.
Basically, he wins 2 World Series games if Freddie Freeman does it in a walk-off grand slam and the 5th inning
The
from
ball.
hell.
5th inning debacle.
Literally, he beats the Dodgers twice in the World Series.
Right.
That was my
Dominant,
final.
dominant, yeah. So I got Logan Webb for every reason that you said.
Oh, you got Logan Webb.
That's 7.
Wow.
So 204 innings, he's just consistent, and he's been doing it for a long time. I like guys that do it year after year after year. There's not a lot of guys these days that throw 200 plus innings, and he's just a workhorse. So I love
Kind of a big thing to me too is like, let's say he's a free agent. Like, I know as a front office, I can go sign this guy and he's not going to get
He's
hurt.
trustworthy.
You know what I mean? Like, versus where Chris Sale's on the market, it's like, well,
Aging.
is he going to get
Injury
hurt? And there's
history.
another guy on this list. Well, we'll get into him too, but
Yeah.
if he's on the free, it's like, well, are you going to be healthy? Like Logan Well, I'm like, oh, he's going to give you 200. Here's 5 years for 120 million. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
feel good about it.
so
I'm gonna watch Logan Webb more this year. To me, he just
he doesn't
lacks.
sparkle. It's not
He lacks the electric power.
He's a boring
that I'm
pitcher.
kind of
He's
looking
boring.
for with
Agreed.
my guys.
Yeah, he's boring for sure.
Agreed.
But, number 7, I have Garrett Crochet.
Nice.
The
Okay.
reason why I have Garrett Crochet is obviously he was a monster this year. He actually had the highest swing and miss in the zone strike zone this year at 25.5%. So he's got the stuff. I am a little weird about putting him here because he's a first year starter.
Yeah.
But I think, well,
He will be.
he was a first year starter, but this is going to be a second year. He has 13 Ks per 9. I mean, that's off the
That's
charts.
stupid.
So, but what I want to see is, can he go long in games? Can he compete when he's next to Walker Buehler, when he's next to Cutter Crawford, and these other guys that are on the Red Sox? Can he be the anchor to that rotation? We gotta wait to see. But if he is, I think he's well deserving of the top 10 for sure.
It's awesome.
I like it.
And he's a lefty throwing 100. Like, it's rare
Can't
as a
miss that.
starter. So
Number 6.
So this is my guy where like you guys say the consistency, but I think he has electric stuff. I got at 6 is Corbin Burns.
I like it.
He's
on
a
the list.
bona fide.
Also on the
He's an ace on almost probably every team he's on,
Yes.
other than maybe the 5 guys I have above him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Power arm, pounds the zone, high strikeout guy, innings eater, gonna take the ball every 5th day on his start. Made the Orioles better. Was able to help that rotation lengthen. Who did he sign with? Why am I going blank?
Arizona.
Yeah.
He's with the Diamondbacks. He's gonna be in my
Pitcher friendly park. baby.
pitcher friendly park, but he's got the power. He's got the stuff to be. He's gonna do well there.
Yeah,
I
all his
think.
pitches move. They all have run.
Yeah.
They all have big breaks.
They all look the same and
Yeah.
do something. They come out of the same spot. He's just a consistent, solid. Don't think I've ever seen him like pitch and get rocked. Like he's just, even if he doesn't have his A plus stuff on multiple pitches,
Still gonna give you
he's
5
still
Ks.
gonna give you a quality start. And that's where like a guy like him, I just have him over a Logan Webb and stuff, because it's just like he's got multiple pitches. If he has 8 plus on multiple pitches, you might
It's
see
like
some-
that.
you might see something
You're looking
special
at
that
12,
day.
13 K out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got Corbin Burns at 6.
Awesome. Number 6 for me might be a top 5 pitcher that I've seen in my life, but he reminds me of Mike Trout on the pitching side. I got Jacob deGrom at number 6.
I got DeGrom on my list. He'll be there, but
If he
he's
was
filthy.
if he was healthy every season, he'd be number 1 until he retires.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Last year, 10 innings, 1.69 ERA, 14 Ks. The dude's electric. He throws 100 on the outside corner, locates everything, sliders like 92, 93. He throws 3-4 pitches for strikes.
His 100-mile-an-hour two-seamer that whips off the outside of the plate and grabs the corner. It's
Yeah, this is 98 mile per hour.
you literally watch a game. You go if they get him a run, it's over.
Yes.
It's over.
He's that type of guy, yeah.
Like there's not guys on here that we say that, right? Like get him one run and it's over.
If Texas is up 2-0 and DeGrom's at 50 pitches in the fourth, fifth inning, you're
game over.
Yeah, good luck.
Like my first 5 bet is my favorite bet to make is when DeGrom's pitching, give me the first 5 under for the other team, and give me if he's pitching
First
for
5 Texas.
give me Texas minus a half run because if you get him a run, he ain't giving up one.
Ball game.
Agreed.
Number 6, I have Jacob DeGrom.
Nice.
So
Nice.
kind of everything.
Match there.
Kind of think everything you touched on. Injured a lot as of late. In my opinion, like you said, if DeGrom is healthy, he's the best pitcher in the league.
Agreed.
I think there's no pitcher that has the stuff that he does. He's absolutely electric. Can paint any corner you want. Has a 99 mile per hour sinker, which I don't think people understand. Like, we've all played baseball. Obviously, we've seen some decent. I couldn't even fathom standing in the box of a 99 mile per hour sinker. So, if DeGrom is healthy this year, I look to see him in Cy Young candidates for sure.
Yeah.
Good
He's a guy where I don't worry. I don't care what ballpark he's in. I
Yes.
don't care what the lineup is. If he's got his A stuff, he's.
You pitch him against the NL All-Star team, I don't care.
I don't care.
Well, and speaking of 99-mile-an-hour sinkers, you're only seeing that in the bullpen these days.
Yes.
He's doing that as a starter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And these guys are topping out at that. He
Right.
lives at that.
Right.
So, I mean, do we have to say much more? DeGrom is a monster when he's healthy.
Unreal. Number 5.
Top 5, baby. Here we
Top
go.
5.
Top 5. Okay, so for me, this is you guys know I'm buddies with Jackie Bradley. I've talked to him, and I asked, who's the nastiest guy you've ever had to face? And this is who this guy is, and his delivery, even as a right-handed hitter, I think if I had to face him, it would not be fun, is Chris Sale.
Yes.
I have Chris Sale at 5.
Okay.
I don't think he has to throw 98. His delivery, all arms and legs, where he comes, he could keep, if he could stay healthy, he's a guy that just can keep pitching and pitch. He pitched this year going to Atlanta. He was spotty. He wasn't going 100 like he did early in his career. He actually pitches and the swing and miss. And again, you give me a big game and Sales up, like you can't put lefties in your lineup. They're not hitting.
Right.
And so if he makes you alter your lineup where you have to put in righties and they still aren't gonna like tee off on him. Another guy, when he's on, you get him a run or two, it's ball game. And I got Sale at 5.
Kind of to touch on 2 little points on Chris Sale. I remember the year the Red Sox played the Dodgers in the World Series, and he came in, and it was like
Unhittable.
when I saw him jogging out of the bullpen, I said, "This game's over." It's over. It's like he has the stuff, and yeah, he's not touching 99 no more, but he's still giving 94, 95.
He's pitching.
And he's throwing the ball from a right-hander's perspective. Like, he's a good 4 feet off of where you even need to think about swinging the ball. So
and
I couldn't even
to
imagine being a lefty.
To add to that, Sean Manaea, who was kind of struggling and got hot in the postseason, said, I seen the way Sale pitched with the arm slot and that, and I went to it, and look what Manaea did.
On the Mets, he was good.
Right, especially at the end of the year. Like, and Sale, I'm really big on Chris Sale.
And Chris Sale's been
He's always a guy I always wanted on the Dodgers.
And he's been good his entire career. He's never, he's had his injuries here and there, but when he's healthy, like Chris Sale, look, what is he, 37? Goes back and wins the Cy Young. So I would love to see him replicate that, or at least some semblance of what he did last year.
Yeah, I can't argue too much. Number 5 for me, model of consistency. I would say almost like a Logan Webb with better stuff is Corbin Burns.
Yes.
So Corbin Burns, 194 innings, 15-9, 2.92 ERA, 181 Ks, just consistent, right? He's almost, like I said, Logan Webb with just better stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to throw 190 to 200 innings every year and just be a workhorse.
Well, like Cody said, he's an ace on pretty much every team he goes to. So
Yeah.
Number 5, I got Garrett Cole.
Nice.
The reason why I have Garrett Cole again, like he says, in a big game, like that guy's not backing down.
Yep.
So I've seen instances where they start walking out and he's like, no. I've seen Aaron Boone come out there and Garrett Cole's like, no, I'm still going.
Right.
Like, I'm fine. He's a guy he's a dog. He has the strikeout numbers. he's coming right at you. I don't care who's at the dish. Like put Otani up there, put Jordan, put whoever you want at the dish. He's coming right at you. He doesn't care. Consistent. He's been good pretty much his entire career. He did get hurt last year and was a little bit too slow to come back. But once he started feeling it again, and because I remember when he came back, like everyone was like, "Is this where he falls off?" Because I remember he was getting kind of teed off on a little bit. He was only touching like 93, 94.
Yeah.
He locked it in, and it got ugly fast.
He gives me an old school feel.
Yes.
Like old school, like
Yes.
Roger Clemens-ish.
He doesn't
Pitch
complain.
count doesn't matter.
He doesn't
Yeah.
complain. He's not one of these pitchers who are like, "Oh, I can't throw this many innings." Like, give me the ball, I'll throw all night. I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I give Cole 5. I think he's definitely deserving.
Number 4.
Number 4, this is a guy that I saw a lot this last year, and I can't deny the numbers and the production that he had, so I have him up here. He really took a big leap, and he was up for Cy Young as Zach Wheeler on the field. So I got Zach Wheeler at
I got him
4.
on my list.
I also have him.
There's guys that I feel like have more better fastball and stuff, but I watched the guy pitch a lot. He can go through a lineup 2-3 times.
Yep.
and still get outs. He eats a lot of innings, very consistent. He was the best player for the Phillies this last year, and he his numbers and just everything he does for the Phillies on the mound, I couldn't deny not having him in the top 5. He's a big time pitcher, and it's crazy to think like he was like kind of the forgotten man when the Mets had that crazy rotation of Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, and there was the other kid, Steven Matz. It was like, and Wheeler was like the 5th guy. Now he's
the guy.
one of the guys, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just a solid, consistent Corbin Burns type with maybe some better stuff, a little better pitch mix.
Right.
But I got Wheeler at 4.
Awesome. You got anything on that?
I'll speak on. I have him on my
Yeah.
list, so I'll
yeah,
speak on
same.
it.
Awesome. So number 4, I got Garrett Cole. Just model
Tried and
consistency.
Yeah.
Tried and true pitcher. We kind of touched on him, so I got Garrett Cole at 4.
Kind of, and not to keep going in on Garrett Cole, but kind of just a guy where if he's on my team, like that's my guy.
That's
You
your
know,
dog.
like he's my ace.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
At number 4, I got Paul Skeens.
Okay.
So the reason why I have him, I know a lot of people are going to think this is too low. The reason why I have him at 4 is simply we just haven't seen enough of him.
Yep. See it again.
Players, hitters haven't seen enough of him. Now they got, 23 starts of him. I think he only pitched. He was averaging around 5 innings a game, which
133 total.
a big problem with Skeens this year, and I noticed that from the games I did watch, is his pitch counts, they rise very fast. He's in a lot of full counts. I like to see him attack hitters earlier. He's obviously got the stuff. He throws 102. He's got nasty breaking balls. Go to hitters. And maybe it's something he will do this year. Now he's got a little bit of reps under his belt. But in all the pitching metrics, he's a star. So I think he's gonna have a good season this year. I just want to see him give me 180 innings and face these hitters the second year where they have some tape on you. So
For sure. Number 3.
Number 3, I'm big on this guy. We talked about him. To me, these top 3 guys that I have, it's get him a run and the game's over. I got DeGrom at 3.
Okay.
I like it.
And the only reason he ain't won is just I can't take out of the injury
Yeah.
concerns.
Yeah.
But as far as stuff, when he's at his best,
Best pitcher.
it's unhittable. It's no hitter type stuff. It's perfect game type stuff. He throws strikes. He's so efficient. You'll watch a game and he's at 60 pitches with 8 or 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Like it's strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Have a nice day. Like
Sit down.
8, 9, 10 pitch innings.
Yeah.
It's electric. He's unhittable. If the Dodgers were to face him with their lineup, I'd be like, we could lose today.
Like,
Like,
he's strong.
it's DeGrom. So
Yeah, I couldn't
He's
agree
a
more.
he's a good
I
morning,
got-
good evening, good night type
yeah,
of
I
guy.
got him
So
at 3. I just think he's so talented.
he would be higher up on my list as well, but like you said, it's hard. Most of these pitchers you can kind of put aside like, oh, if they're hurt, but DeGrom has been hurt
Yeah,
a lot.
a lot.
lately. So it's one of those things where like I know we've made these lists based on if they weren't hurt, but he's a guy you have to put that into as a consideration.
Right. For me at number 3, I got Tariq Skubal. Tariq Skubal, 18-4, 2.39 ERA, 192 innings, 228 Ks, 0.9 WHIP.
Yeah.
It's undeniable for me. I know he's kind of just coming onto the scene, but if you go sub 1 WHIP, you throw 190 innings at a 2.3 ERA. That's just nasty to me. He
Lefty.
lefty,
I mean, he melted the Astros.
power fastball.
Just melted them. Like
I can't say enough good things about Tariq Skubal. I think he's going to be an ace for a long time. So
I kind of think with all our top 3s, in my opinion, they're all kind of interchangeable.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind putting any of these guys there.
Yeah.
Number 3, I actually have Corbin Burns.
Okay.
The reason why I have Corbin Burns, you guys touched on it already. He's consistent with filth. Like Logan Webb's consistent, but he's not gonna wow me. He's not gonna go blow out the Dodgers. He's not gonna keep the Dodgers to 0 runs. Like he doesn't have that type of stuff. Corbin Burns does.
Yeah.
And like Cody said, when he has his A+ stuff going, you're looking at 14 Ks in a day. Like he's about to mow your entire lineup down. When he doesn't have his best stuff, he's still gonna give you 5-6 Ks through 6 innings. He might give up a run here and there, but Corbin Burns is a guy where he throws 100. Well, I don't know if throws 100, but it's around 98, 99.
Yeah.
Has all the
He
stuff.
might touch 100 pitching in Arizona.
He
with
might.
weather.
He might.
A lot of times they do a lot of the like showcases and stuff in those because that's when you kind of get your best out of pitchers, right?
And then the reason why I put him there as well is he's going to Arizona, so he has a pitcher-friendly ballpark. He's never going to get tore up through the home runs. And another stat that I saw was crazy about him, he's the only pitcher in the past 5 seasons to throw 700 innings with an ERA under 2.9. So
And he's going to a
He's
team
been
that might
consistent.
have the best defense in baseball, or one of the best, for sure, one of the best outfields in baseball.
He's done this for 5 years now, so he the track record's there. I think he's going to be a monster this year.
Can't argue with that. Number
2.
2.
Top 2.
Top
Top
2.
2.
Other than DeGrom, he's probably got more electric stuff. He's younger,
Wow.
big country boy, Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
I got it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love that you brought up the high pitch count
Yeah.
and walks. So Clayton Kershaw was the exact same way when he first came up. Kershaw was 98, 99 when
Yeah.
he first came up, but he would go 5 innings. He'd have 11 Ks, but 4 or 5 walks,
Yeah.
and he had to come out
He'd be
and
at
five.
111 pitches.
That was his rookie year. Kershaw was like that, and it was like he was wild.
Yeah.
And then he had that off season of now he's like fully a baseball player, gets to work on things.
Yeah.
If you're telling me Skeens can get better and have more control,
Yeah.
he's unhittable.
That's right.
Even he was learning on the
Yeah, those
job, and he was unhittable at times last year.
I mean, he made Aaron Judge look fully. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the only person I seen turn him around is he, and it was one of those moments where you knew he was going fastball because he wanted to see if he could do it. Is Shohei took him deep, but he made Shohei look stupid.
They went 1-1.
Yes, he made him look stupid, and then it was like, let's see if he can get this.
Yeah.
And Shohei took a 100-mile-an-hour fastball deep, but
Yeah.
I like that bulldog in him,
Yes.
and
he's like, you're the best hitter in the game. I'm
He's,
coming at
he
you.
pitches kind of nasty. He very old school demeanor, humble. I want to see him on the big stage. I hope we get to see it.
Yeah.
I
He'll be
hope
a
the
Dodger.
Pirates.
He'll be a Dodger.
Yeah, he'll be a Dodger in a year or two.
He'll get his
We'll
the front
see,
ends
but,
again.
just a dude, electric stuff. He might have 3 pitches that are the best in baseball. With his fastball, his changeup, and the splitter, might be the best.
The Splinker.
The splinter
Yeah.
might be the best in baseball.
And sorry again, but not to keep going on Paul Skeens, but like you said, if this is the beginning of Skeens and he gets better, the league's in trouble.
Yes.
But that's where, to me, it's a what if situation because what if now they figure him out and the fastball isn't as electric and he can't live on that fastball. But on the flip side of things, if he gets that control down and the walks start coming down and he's mowing fools into the 6th, 7th inning, the league's in a very big hole.
Yeah.
So I got Skeens at 2 also.
Okay.
I would have him lower on this list and tell him to do it again. But if you're a 1.96 ERA in 133 innings, I'm gonna anoint you
Yeah.
with that stuff. With that stuff. With that stuff.
Yeah.
With his stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think his walk numbers are that high. I think he does get deep into counts, but I don't think that his walk percentage is that crazy. Because when he does get to 3-2, he's coming out to a 102 down the middle, try to hit it.
Yeah, I don't think the walk, but the high pitch.
But the full
high
counts.
pitch
is
count,
the
full
problem.
counts, because he had a .947 whip.
Yeah.
So he's not walking a ton.
No.
of hits. He's not giving up hits.
No.
So it's just the deep count stuff. He can fix that by attacking earlier in counts, but he's going to be a DeGrom level, Garrett Cole level, the next generation of he's the guy
Yeah.
for
Well,
a long
and
time.
people can't say that like it's a one-off. Like this kid was supposed to be this good. He was this good at LSU. He came in the league. He was supposed to do this in the league, and he did it.
Yeah.
Did it in the minors for a little bit before he came up. Like this isn't like it's a fluke. Like no, this is the Paul Skeens we thought we were gonna get, and
He's
he's
the guy.
giving it to us. So
Yeah,
he
awesome.
reminds me of the whole old school demeanor. I can just see him with like a fat lip in his mouth, just like on the mound mowing
Josh
down.
Handlebar mustache.
Just a
If-
fucking red mids
if-
in the back.
If
Like,
you wouldn't get thrown out of games, he'd be a guy who'd
Yeah.
throw it at your head, get off my
Yeah.
plate. Like,
Yeah.
he's nasty.
number 2, I got Zach Wheeler.
Nice.
So the reason why I have Zach Wheeler here, number 2, is he was the front of the Phillies rotation this year. The Phillies rotation was one of the best in baseball with him, with Ranger. They
Nola.
held it with him.
Nola.
Yep, Aaron Nola. So they were, in my opinion, the best rotation this year, and he was the forefront of that. So got to give him a little respect there. He has the most. I know you hate WAR, but he has the most F4 since 21 with 22.7 out of pitchers. 200 inning guy, 4 out of 5 seasons with an ERA lower than 2.9. He had 2.5 this year. He even managed to raise his K rate this year, which is, he's an older guy. He's getting older, so the fact that he was able to increase his K rate, I think it's a sign for what's to come. And if he can continue his consistency like he's been doing, his fastball's touching 99. As long as he continues doing what he's doing in the NL, I think he'll be fine.
Cool.
Number one.
Seeing what he did to the Astros in the postseason, lefty. With that heat and stuff, Tariq Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball right now. He's filthy.
Yeah.
He had one bad inning in the postseason, and it wrecked the Tigers because it was like, wait, what? He doesn't get hit.
I remember everyone was like, hold on.
What just happened? You know, it was that 5-run, and it was out of nowhere. They ambushed him a couple times, but he pitched so much in that stretch because he was all they had.
Yeah.
He was all they had. I mean, they traded Jack Flaherty at the deadline, and like Flaherty's pitching in the World Series. Like, you don't think they could have used Flaherty in some innings? Like, they could have held on. And it's just like, he literally was there, everything. They had no offense. Yeah. They have a ton of young hitters.
They have none.
They have just no like guaranteed bats, like
sure.
all potential and no like locked things. He literally has to pitch where I can't give up a run.
Yeah, with no Skubal, they get run with all 3 games against Astros.
Yeah, like he has to pitch to like not give up anything, and he does it a lot. Skubal is one of my favorite guys to watch. Just works fast.
He's filthy.
Pounds the zone. One of my favorite guys to watch.
It's hard to argue. Number one for me, a little bit of bias. I actually got to watch this guy work in spring training. Got to talk to him a little bit. Zach Wheeler is my number one.
Okay.
A lot of people I've been watching on other sports medias, ESPN, they're comparing his postseason numbers to Madison Bumgarner and how dominant he is in the postseason. He had a 2.18 ERA in the postseason this year. They've had a stretch of postseason runs the last 3-4 years, made a World Series appearance. He's consistently 200 innings, like you said, 2.57 ERA, 224 Ks, .955 WHIP. He's just nasty.
Yeah.
A little bit of bias for me, being a Phillies guy, but I think he's proven it year after year after year.
Yeah.
That he's dominant.
I don't even think bias plays into that. He is a top 3 pitcher. I mean, he can go in anyone's order. I struggled picking between 1 and 2. I was going to put Wheeler at 1, but I've seen so many media outlets have him at 1 where I was kind of like, I'm going to give this guy some love. But
Yeah.
number 1 is Tariq Skubal. Like, it's really not up for argument in my opinion. Like, yeah, people can put Wheeler there because he's been more consistent. This is Skubal's kind of first time doing it. But again, I think me and you were watching the Astros.
Yeah.
We watched a couple games together, and to see what he was doing to Bregman, to Jose,
Jordan.
to Jordan's lefty, so he's gonna struggle. But Jordan has crushed lefties before. Like, it's not like he just struggles against lefties. But to watch him, who was kind of inexperienced, everyone was like wondering, is he gonna be able to? He showed up and showed out, like just melting the Astros away. Like Jose Altuve.
I don't care if they had the trash cans going.
Yeah,
the
it wouldn't have mattered.
in.
He was carving them up, and I think that in my mind solidified. I knew he was winning Cy Young, but when he did that, I was like, this dude is the best pitcher in baseball right now. And to touch on a couple of his little stats, he's second best whiff rate in the zone behind Paul Skeens. Was it Paul Skeens? I don't know who it was, but ground ball rate of 46% plus his strikeout stuff. So not only does he strike you out left and right, if you put the ball in play, it's a ground ball. So it's like he does it good on both facets. Either pitchers are good ground ball pitchers or they're good strikeout pitchers. He does both. Threw 192 innings. He's reliable. Didn't get hurt really much this year. Led the league in Ks. Only 27 years old. He pitches in a pitcher-friendly park in Detroit. They're not going to play many games during the postseason, but second in MLB in ERA, first in the AL with a 2.39. Dude did it all. He did it all for the Tigers this year. He was the face of that organization this year. So I think going into this year, he's going to be the best pitcher again.
Nice.
Awesome.
I want to kind of add something to our start. Is there a guy that you guys have off of your top 10 that you think you could see maybe getting into it, like if you had to redo this, like at the end
Well,
of the
I
year.
would have put Chris Sale in mine, well, for sure. I forgot to put him in mine, but
Chris Sale wasn't in your top 10.
that's the guy.
Okay.
If I would have, I don't know how I didn't add him there, but I would have taken Logan Webb out.
Somebody I had really close, I think he has one of the best two-seam fastballs I've ever seen, is Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
He was like 12 for me.
And then if Shohei comes back.
That was another guy I didn't really know how to rank him because I don't even know if they're going to use him
coming
that
back
much
in
this
May.
year.
I don't want to get deep into them, but like those were my two honorable mentions. A couple Shota Imanaga on the Cubs I really like, but not electric.
Yeah.
But I like him. I like the way he pitches.
He's
Another guy
creative.
that I like the way he pitches, but not electric for me is Pablo Lopez with Twins. He's a really good
Oh,
pitcher.
yeah.
And then Logan Gilbert with the Mariners.
I was going to put Logan
Pitcher.
Gilbert
But
in there as well.
yeah, I'm happy with my top 10.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Anderson's got a shot here. This year.
My two honorable mentions would be Garrett Crochet. He probably deserves to be in there. And,
I had him at 10.
and,
so.
and Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Yamamoto, I think, is kind of a fringe guy where if it works, he's going to be a top 10 pitcher. But if it doesn't, he'll still be a good back end rotation guy. So.
All right, well, let's get into catchers. We'll just start off at number 10 with you, Cody, again. Top 10 catcher in baseball going into 2025 right now.
This guy turned into a pretty good hitter. He was pretty clutch for this team. Helped them really flip their season around with a couple big walk-off homers, and he's pretty good behind the plate. I got Francisco Alvarez of the Mets.
He's a good
Oh,
player.
I got him at 10. He's young.
Yeah.
He just seems like he's going to be a guy. He's going to always be the Mets catcher. Like he's good behind the plate, and he's got a bat. Kind of steps up in the clutch moments when he's hitting.
Yeah.
And I just a big fan of watching him compete this year. Watching the Mets, I kind of watched the Mets a lot this last year, and I got Francisco Alvarez at 10.
Yeah, I had him just off my list.
Same.
11, 12,
Okay.
somewhere in there. Number 10 for me, I had Logan O'Hoppe.
Oh,
The GOAT. Don't even worry about what Cody's talking about. Go ahead.
So for me,
not even on my list.
one little bias, I got to play with him. So he started off as a Philly, played a full season with him, spent multiple spring trainings with him. Great leader.
Cool. So he's a great guy. That's what you got.
He goes 244 with 20 home runs and 56 RBIs. 20 home runs as a catcher is gonna put you at third or fourth on this list.
Yeah.
So he's a home run guy. He's gonna produce power for you, and I think he is underrated with how he handles the pitching staff and calls games for how young he is. So
The reason why I had this guy at 10 and not like a Francisco Alvarez or some of those other fringe guys is I looked up a little bit of Alvarez stats. Like he's kind of a little bit over 200. He only hit 11 homers last year, but he does come up in spots. Like he did help them in the postseason and he's good behind the plate defensively, frames the ball as well. But the reason why I have this guy here is because of his potential. I have Austin Wells at number 10 from the Yankees. The reason why I have him here is because he hasn't really unlocked his potential. He's a lefty in Yankee Stadium, so like his homer numbers are going to go up as the more he plays. He had a pretty decent postseason. He had a big bomb against the Cleveland Guardians
Big bomb against the Dodgers.
so he did well. I think he has a lot of room to grow into. He's good defensively already. Could get better on the defensive side as well, but I see that he can take that leap, and if he does, I think he'll be a 20-25 home run type.
I got him on my list.
he's on my list too.
I got him a little higher.
Me
Wow.
too. All right, number 9.
Number 9. This is a guy. He might be the second best. Maybe that's a reach on his team, but I watch him and he's really good behind the plate. Commands a very inexperienced staff, and he bats in the middle of their order. I got Shea Langeliers of the A's. He's a really good ball player. Just doesn't get the A's are terrible, right? And they're almost nearly.
He is the second, probably the third best hitter on the
Yeah, I
team.
was going to say
Lawrence and
second.
Brett Rooker.
Yeah, but he bats in the middle of their order. I've seen him bat him lead off. He bats fourth. He bats third. Like he can kind of bat anywhere, and he plays a lot of games. He doesn't sit a lot. So I got Langeliers at 9.
Nice.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I have him probably
He's on my
top,
list as well.
top 15.
And for me, if a guy plays a bunch of games behind the plate and their hitting numbers take a hit, I don't knock them because they're available, and catcher numbers are going to go down when you're grinding.
He can't DH a lot.
Right.
He plays a lot behind the dish.
Right.
Number 9 for me, I got JT Realmuto.
Sure.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I got him high.
He's on my list, and he's lower too.
He was considered the best catcher in baseball for
I
probably
love
three,
JT
four years.
Realmuto.
Me too. I love JT.
Wow.
266, 14 home runs, 47 RBIs. Took a little bit of a step down from previous years with the Phillies, but he still has a top 3 arm in baseball. One of the most elite pitch callers and defensive catchers still probably in baseball. He's getting a little bit older now. I think he's starting to kind of get to the twilight of his career. But yeah, I got him at 9.
At number 9, I have Logan O'Hoppe. The reason why I have him as an Angels fan, like, yeah, I wanted to put him higher, but the kid's got to work on his swing rate. I mean, his swing and miss rate. He swings in too many pitches, which is crazy because in college and in the minor leagues, he was known for his eye. Like, he was a guy who didn't swing and miss very often, but
They probably asked him to hit more bombs.
so
you know?
probably.
Yeah.
So he hit 285 almost 3/4 of the season. And you could see it starting to take a toll on him because he was always catching. They never really DH'd him. It was Rendon at the end of the season when he was playing when he could. They were doing like Miguel Sano and the like. He was an everyday catcher, and I think even in some of his post game interviews, like they asked him, he was like, "No, I want to catch."
Yeah.
So he was a guy like he wanted to play that position, and I think as an Angels fan, I love to hear that. Like he's a grinder. He's young still. If he can work on his swing and miss rates, I mean, he hit 20 homers like you said. He can live around 265, 275, 20 homers, 25. I'll be happy with that as a catcher. He's great behind the dish, calls a great game. All the pitchers on the Angels love him. It's a guy I'm excited to see his career go forward.
Awesome. Number 8.
This guy's up here because he needs to get better defensively, which I think he will because he's going to be their catcher. But his bat potential and being a lefty in his stadium, I got Austin Wells at 8. We talked about it. I think he could be their catcher for a long time, and he can thrive in that ballpark hitting. And he's not going to get to DH a bunch, so but he needs to get better behind the plate, so he's not a liability where they can steal on him. I think he can get better. He's young, but that bat, man, he can be like one of the he's probably top 5 in hitting, maybe
He
as
could
a
be
catcher.
power-wise for sure.
He's 8 on my list because of his defense, but if he gets that up, he's 8 with an arrow up for me.
I think he's got the potential to be what the Yankees thought Gary Sanchez was going to be. I think Austin Wells has all the tools to become what they thought they were getting out of Gary Sanchez.
Yeah,
I got him really high on my list.
I'm not against that. Like I wanted to put him higher, but it just felt like there's a guy that I got high on. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just think that a guy like Austin Wells he's a guy who can moonrocket or skyrocket to becoming one of the best catchers in the league, but he's also one of those guys where he could just stay stagnant and just kind of wisp away. I've seen catchers like this where
I feel like he'll be really good, but knowing who I got on my list, he'll never make an all-star game. But he's really good. He's gonna be a really good Yankee.
That's where
He's
I'm
going
at.
up though,
Yeah.
I think he's going up, but he's also a guy where I could see him. How many times have we seen these young star catchers, Francisco Alvarez for one, where they have that look to them where it's oh my God, this guy's going to be really good, and they don't pan out. They just kind of wither away. I could see that happen with Austin Wells.
I agree. I just think that he doesn't have to be the star of the show.
No, he's got judge on his team.
He's just kind of free. Hey, there's a short portion right. I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah.
And there's other guys on this list that are kind of in the middle of the order for their teams, and they got a lot more on their plate.
Agreed.
Anyways, for me at number 8, I got Salvador Perez. This guy, I know it's probably a little too low, but dude, he's been doing it year after year after year after year. I feel like this guy's been playing since 2004.
That's what I feel like.
It
I've
feels
seen
like
Salvi. I feel like ever since I can remember being a baseball fan,
Me and Salvi went to high school together.
Really? So the only reason why I have him this low is age. I think he could obviously do it again, like he has been forever, and I could look stupid, and he should be 5 or 4. But I got him at 8, 271, 27 bombs, 104 RBIs. Can't get much better.
Remember halfway through the season, people were saying he's an MVP conversation. Salvi was.
So
I got Salvi high.
For me, defensively, and age. Those are the 2 reasons why I had him a little bit lower. And when I say my 7, 6, and 5, he should probably be above all 3 of them. But I just think the other 3 guys are going up, and I think he's gonna kind of tail off towards the end. But I could be wrong.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Number 8, I have JT Realmuto.
Yeah.
The reason why I have JT here, I spoke on a lot of it, but he's a consistent guy behind the dish, but he is getting older. His framing is not as good as it used to be. Still has a rocket arm, but a big asset to JT Realmuto's game was he used to steal bases. Like
Right.
catchers never do that.
He was like the one guy with
he was
speed.
he was fast,
Yeah.
but he had meniscus surgery last year, and at 34, going into his 35-year season, I don't know, man. His hitting numbers have declined. He's starting to fall off. His power numbers are starting to decline.
Yep.
He's probably not going to steal many bases this year. Coming off a knee surgery as a catcher, getting older, he's still going to be good. He's still going to be a top guy in the league. It's JT Realmuto.
Yep.
I just feel like he's starting to fall behind some of these guys that I have going up.
I agree. Number 7, sir.
7. This is a guy just looking at lists. I know everybody kind of has him high. I don't know too much about him other than like this team always has a good catcher, and I know they're not going to get a catcher that isn't good behind the plate. And like, I think he made an All-Star game. Is Yanner Diaz for the Astros?
He's on my list.
He's also on my list.
I got him at 7. I'm not going to sit here and BS you that I know a bunch about him. I just know of the name. Know he's good. He made an All-Star game, I believe, with the Rockies. So for you to make an All-Star game on the Rockies, like.
I think you're thinking of Elias Diaz.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's on the Astros.
So no, you're good. So just to kind of cover you, I feel like the Astros, as much as I hate them and as much as they cheated and all the crazy stuff, they're really good at developing talent.
Yes.
Every year, Jeremy Pena comes up,
Jordan.
success. Jordan comes up, success. Obviously, the 3 big guys: Tucker, Bregman, Altuve, Springer, of course, before he got traded. But it's just another guy in their organization that comes up and dominates.
Yeah.
He was 299, 16 bombs, 84 RBIs.
Yeah.
Unreal for a catcher.
Yeah.
So
He's on my list. He's a lot higher.
yeah,
I got him
yeah,
at 7.
he's gonna be a stud. So number 7 for me, probably a little bit of a reach, but I love switch hitters at the catcher position. I got Patrick Bailey of the Giants.
I like it. I actually do like it.
Switch hitter. He was 234, 8 home runs, 46 RBIs. I think he's going to grow into some more power. Tough ballpark to hit home runs
Absolutely.
in. But a switch hitting catcher that plays elite defense, sign me up all day.
He was good enough where they shipped Joey Bart out, who they were high
Yes.
on for
Right.
years.
Yes.
Right.
Now Bart's not the guy.
I don't
So
even know where Joey Bart went.
Pittsburgh. I think.
so right now, obviously I'd probably have Salvador Perez ahead of him, but I'm projecting a little bit with Patrick Bailey, and that's
I mean, he's
why
younger. He has a lot to grow into where Salvi's kind of on his way out.
Yeah.
Well, he's been on his way out for a while now.
And he
but
still
That's a
keeps
good one.
down. Still
Didn't
keeps
have him on
down.
my
I
list.
didn't
but
either, but I like that pick.
Yeah.
I like that pick a lot.
Number 7?
At number 7, I have Shea Langoliers.
Nice.
The reason why is his average isn't great. It's never going to be great, but he's good behind the dish. He's got potential to get even better. He's going to hit a lot of home runs. He's going to drive a lot of RBIs next to Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler. He's kind of a guy they need as far as the power, because the A's have always struggled to score runs lately. So he's going to be a big guy for them. I think as long as he gets better behind the plate defensively, I think he'll be fine.
I like it.
Awesome, love it. Number 6?
Yes.
Number 6.
I got that William Contreras of the Brewers. At
Oh! Whoa!
That's a little low, my guy.
Whoa!
I just
Holy shit!
Wow.
I just got him low. I got 5 guys I like better.
I'm gonna save my take for when I get to him, but
Holy
he's got the family lineage. His brother was
His
an
brother got his ass moved out of catcher, so he ain't no Molina.
his brother was
family.
his brother was an all-star catcher.
His brother was.
I'll list his stats when I get to him.
Yeah.
I got William Contreras at 6. I don't even want to.
Okay.
I got 5 dudes I like better.
Okay. Number 6 for me, I got Yanyer Diaz
Okay.
of the Astros. So I did have him pretty high. 299, 16 bombs, 84 RBIs. We've been over it. I think he's going to be really good for the Astros, even though I don't like him. So, J-Dub, number 6.
Number 6, I got Salvi.
Salvi.
Again,
He's got him at
big. A big part of why I do have him at 6 is just age.
Yep.
I mean, he's getting older. He's nowhere near the defensive catcher he used to be. He's strictly there because he hits, and he hits damn well.
Yep.
I think he's going to be another RBI machine this year. Again, he's going to be kind of the Robin to Bobby Witt as the Batman.
Yep.
He's going to score a lot of runs. His average is probably going to slide a little bit. He is getting older. He's what, 37?
I thought he was 48.
That's what it
He's been
feels
playing
like.
forever.
I mean, I remember when he swept the Angels when we made it in 2015, and we were the best team in the AL.
Right.
We shit the bed. Since then, I've had nightmares of Salvador Perez. But I remember last year, everyone thought this was kind of when he fall off, but he turned into an MVP candidate out of nowhere. He's going to hit that cliff eventually, and I think this might be the year he does. But I gotta respect what he's done. and what he still can do. So I got him at 6.
For sure. Number 5. Top 5, Cody.
This is one of my favorite guys.
Who do you have
to
ahead of
watch.
William Contreras?
I got Cal Raleigh of the Mariners. Switch hitter.
I love that.
Switch hitter with power.
I like it.
When I watch him hit, I can't tell what his strong side of his bat is. If he's a righty,
Yeah.
lefty, hits from both sides of the plate, plays a ton. Not a hitter-friendly ballpark like Milwaukee is.
Big dumper.
I have him on my
Seattle
list.
is for sure a hitter-friendly park.
No, it's not.
No, it's
All you
not.
gotta do is ask Mike Trout.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not a hitter.
Well, Mike Trout owns
That's-
this.
They
but-
like the hitters. People like the hitters.
No,
out
that's
there.
where I was just
but it's
going
not a
into
hitter-friendly
Mike- I was
park.
just going to Mike Trout.
Cal Raleigh, being a switch hitter, plays a ton of games, never hurt. Feels like he's just like the captain, the leader of that Mariners team. Love Cal Raleigh, middle of the order bat, just a stud. I got
Probably
Cal
the only
Raleigh.
Mariners I can name besides Julio Rodriguez. That team sucks. So
Well, okay.
That hurts. Number 5 for me, I'm the high guy on him, is Austin Wells. I think he is going to have an unreal year because there's guys in that lineup that are going to take up the majority of the attention from the opposing pitchers. A guy like Cal Raleigh, a guy like some guys we're going to get to later in this list, even William Contreras, they're hitting 3, they're hitting 4, hitting 5. This guy's going to hit 6, 7, or 8 in their lineup, and he's going to get a lot of fastballs. They're not going to have they'll have a game plan for him because they always do. But he's not going to be the focus of the Yankees lineup in that short porch. I could see him 20, 25 bombs this year, raise his average a little bit. He's a great defender, so
I love Cal.
I got him at 5.
I don't disagree with that. I like that. At number 5, I got Cal Riley.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The reason why I have him at 5 is he plays really good defense. That's what he's really good at. Horrible batting average. I was going to be like a 210, 230 type of guy, but he's going to it for power from both sides of the dish. I can easily see Cal Riley becoming a 30 home run guy this season. Switch hitter, I'll give me Cal Riley.
Yeah. Beautiful. Number 4.
Some love for my old guys.
Here it comes.
This guy is a stud. When you have Team USA, he's one of the catchers. It's JT Real Muto. I got Real Muto at 4.
I don't hate it. I don't. Go ahead. I don't hate it.
I have to credit when a pitching staff is just solid. A lot of that
It's catcher.
is catchers. And JT Real Muto, wherever he's been, the pitching staff's good. He's a great catcher. Yes, his running's gone a lot, but last year I remember watching him beat out an infield hit. He still runs. Is he stealing bases? No. But he can still move. He's an athlete. He's a dude. Played in the big moment. Love JT Real Muto.
Cody's gonna be visiting Salvi and JT Romito when they're in a senior home together.
Yeah.
Where they're on their way to now.
Those are my boys.
Number 4 for me, I have Will Smith of the Dodgers.
I like it.
Obviously, he catches probably the best pitching staff in baseball. That could be argued.
That's JT Romito.
Mariners have a good staff. Phillies have a good staff.
Time out. Don't try to throw the Mariners in there.
They got an amazing staff.
They do have good stuff.
But I got Will Smith. He's been consistent for a couple of years. 248, 20 homers, 75 RBIs. That's like a catcher's dream, right? 250.
And that's a down year for him.
Right.
this year.
250, 20 bombs, 75 RBIs. That's what you're pretty much asking for from your catcher, and he's usually a little bit better. The only reason why I didn't have him in my top 3 is because I'm a Mariners fan. But other than that, he's number 4 for me.
Number 4, I got Yainer Diaz. The reason why he hit
That's
300.
good.
Catcher hitting 300 is almost unheard of. Like, that's not what they do. He did have, power issues. He wasn't really hitting for many home runs, but again, he's still young. He can definitely develop into a 20 homer a year type of guy. If he does, still hit 285, 290 with 25, I'll take that. Plays good defense, catches just well, he frames balls well. I think he's, going forward, he's one of the best catchers in the league.
Agreed.
Definitely top
Agreed.
5 for me.
Agreed. Number 3, top 3, Cody Reynolds.
Dude, until this guy shows me
Yeah,
he can't
that's what it
do
is.
it,
That's what
Salvador
it is.
Perez, dude.
Yeah.
He's the lead, that Royals team. Nobody had the Royals winning 80-something games
No.
last year. And he's a big reason. He's a
He's
home
probably
run
the only one
guy.
that hasn't
He's
winning
still
every-
nasty. I seen the Royals making moves last year. I said, watch out, the Royals might win the Central this year. I was
Yeah.
telling some guys at work, I put a little money on them to win it. They did. The Royals and Salvador Perez, he's been there forever, plays a ton. I know he's doing some first base now and DHing, but I think he's earned that, and he's still really good behind the plate. Hitting, he's a problem in the order, and like you said, at the first half of the year, he was like the guy. Like they're like, dude, if he's gonna put up these numbers as a catcher, he's gonna win MVP.
Well, in respect to Salvi too, because he was there when they were dominant in 2015. Went through a big slump. They got rid of Mike Moustakas. I remember they were getting rid of all their stars. Salvi said, "I'm gonna stay here." Team was horrendous. The Royals were actually just so bad to watch. Like I would have never watched a Royals game. He stayed there through all of that for the rebuild, and now he's there when they're a dominant team again. So for him to go through all that and still be like, I'm a Royal, like it's some respect to that.
For sure. Number 3 for me, I got Cal Raleigh. I'm a Mariners fan. I've watched thousands of games at T-Mobile Park, not there, but on TV. It's really hard to hit 30 home runs and have 100 RBIs in that ballpark. Mm-hmm. You're thinking of guys like Griffey, A-Rod, Edgar.
Mike Trout.
There's not a lot of guys that are doing that, right? So, and how elite he is on the defensive end as well. He did hit 220, which is kind of his low point, is his batting average, but 34 home runs, 100 RBIs with half your games at T-Mobile with the elite defense. I have him at 3. So.
I mean, 34 homers from a position player is good.
I mean, he led catchers and home runs.
Yes.
So yeah.
At number 3, I have Will Smith. The reason why I have Will Smith at number 3 is he's been consistent kind of his entire Dodgers career. He's just been kind of an anchor.
Yep.
Hits well, hits for power. Last year he did start off super strong and had kind of a really downside second year. Had a really rough postseason as well. But like the biggest thing to me is if he needs to somehow find a way to be able to DH. Like with Ohtani there, this is the first time Will Smith has been stuck catching for this long. Like he doesn't get a break. I would love to see them try to. I don't know how they're going to work him in the DH. But he needs to get some time at DH, and I think he'll get back to, the 260, 270 Will Smith we used to see.
Yeah. Number 2.
Best catcher in National League, second best catcher in baseball, Will Smith. I mean, this guy, the Dodgers signed him to a 10-year extension before the season. That's a lot of respect for a catcher, giving him a 10-year extension, a lot of money. There are times during the season when like Mookie would break his wrist or broke his wrist, he was out. Will Smith carries the Dodger lineup at times. There are times where he is the best hitter in that lineup. He bats cleanup in that lineup a lot. Yeah. And he hits righties, he hits lefties. He has a knack for hitting the clutch homer. This postseason was the first time I watched where I was like, every time I was like, oh, this is the moment Will Smith like does it, Yeah. And in past postseasons, when there's a pitcher that's just carving and Dodgers aren't hitting, Will Smith's the one with the big homer, the big hit. He had it down here. He caught way more this year with Shohei being the predominant DH, right? So yeah, they do need to find ways because he only takes one day off a week. There are times when I'm like, oh, okay, Dodgers they played a night game and now they got a day game. This should be the one he gets off, and they're like, no, Will Smith's behind the plate, dude. Like Austin Barnes, like. Doesn't catch ever for the Dodgers anymore. It's Will Smith's like 130, 140 games behind the plate.
It's like you love to see that, but at the same time, it's like I want to see him as a Dodgers fan from your point of view. It's like I want to see him do well. So
and
we need to get him rest.
There's talks of like Muncie's on his, I believe, final year of his deal. You might see Will Smith slipping into third base some at times, and he played that too. I think he was a guy that started catching in college. Yeah. So. And he's getting better behind the plate. I never watch a game and just feel like he's a problem back there. I love the guy. He's a Dodger. I don't ever want to see him in another uniform. I got Will Smith at number 2.
Nice. Number 2 for me, I got William Contreras. I think out of everybody on this list and of all the catchers in baseball, he's the only one that's the number 1 guy on his team. He's like the guy, right? Is there anyone else on the Brewers that is like? Sure, he's on the come up.
I mean, before until this year it was Willie Adames, but
right. But
so this will be his.
But he's the face.
He's the face of the franchise.
You think of Brewers, you think of William Contreras and Jackson Chourio.
Right, and like, how many catchers can we say that about in baseball history? Like the last one's probably Buster Posey,
Sally.
Yeah, it was Bobby Witt.
They had other guys.
He was the face.
They had like
when they won it in 15, it was Salvi.
Well, they had like Hosmer. I know Hosmer's not like
Eric Hosmer,
but like they had guys. But yeah,
I get where you're going.
And I mean, 281, 23 bombs, 92 RBIs. That'll play anywhere. So I had him at 2.
And number 2, which is a shock hearing your guys now because I'm assuming both of you guys have this guy 1.
Yeah.
I have Adley Rutschman at 2. And the only reason I have him there is because we've seen the potential. He's put it together. He looks like dominant as ever. But this year he slumped all the second half of the year. Had a horrible postseason. Probably some of the reasons the Orioles lost because he didn't come up big in spots. And it's kind of like I wish I could see him do that. He is, a monster behind the dish, and I think he's going to become one of the best catchers in the game. But as of now, I have to have him at number 2 just because he didn't do it in the big lights. He had a horrible second half of the season. It's like, what if this trend continues? I hope not, because he's exciting to watch play. But we've seen it happen, and I hope he turns it around because I think he is one of the best catchers in the game when he's playing well. So
For sure. I'll let you respond first. Go ahead and say your number 1 guy, and then give your.
I got Adley Rutschman at number 1.
Yeah.
Just ultra talented. He did have those struggles. I think a guy like him, though, they learn from it. Conditioning, they change it up, realizing maybe I hit a wall in the second half. They got to figure it out. He's a guy that's going to get him at first base and DH. Switch hitting, power. Just a dude. Great, really good behind the plate. He basically did, a year in the minors, and then he was up there with the big boys catching.
Big dogs.
He's a stud. I think he's one of the better players in baseball. I see him being probably him and Will Smith being Team USA catchers in the World Baseball Classic this next time around. Love Adley Rutschman. He's just a dude.
So I got.
I'm sorry.
Good.
And that Orioles team got really good, but they're really young, and there was a lot on Gunnar in his plate. Like, they're young dudes that are like carrying a team that's winning 90 games in the AL East. Like, there's something to that. What if they get better? Like,
they're in the gauntlet.
They're gonna get better, right? And that was a lot to take on early in their careers, those two being the guys, and if you don't do good, we don't win, and it could have got to him, and hopefully, I think he's gonna get plenty of chances. I don't think the Orioles are going anywhere. I think he'll get plenty of chances to redeem that.
Well, he had a lot just specifically on his plate as well, being the number 1 overall pick, and having to carry that load, especially when he came in the league. I know there's a lot of eyes on him, so he did have a lot of pressure. And hopefully this year he does, come back to where he was.
So I have Adley number 1 also. Just a few things on him. Out of all the young players on the Orioles, he was the first one to come up, right? So out of the Gunners, the Kobe Mayos, the Kerstads, the Jackson Holidays, all those awesome studs, he was the first, right?
Yeah.
He almost had to set the tone for what this class was going to be. Won a College World Series at Oregon State. Consensus number 1 overall pick. Supposed to be the next Buster Posey, big name catcher, switch hitter. Just checked all the boxes. Defensively amazing. And then a fun story with him is one of my buddies, Bryson Stott, second baseman of the Phillies. He got to play with him in summer ball, I think in college. So it might have been the Cape Cod League. And he said that Adley was far and away the best hitter in the entire Cape Cod. Out of all those first, second round draft picks playing against each other, he said that Adley was just the naturally most gifted hitter that he's seen. So checks all the boxes for me.
For number 1, I have to go William Contreras, just because of the season that he just had. He's still young. Obviously, he has to try to do it again, but he had 280 this year, 20 plus bombs, 90 plus RBIs on a Brewers team that was kind of struggling to score this year. They were really good, but they needed someone to drive those runs, and he showed up. 5th in MVP voting. Kid just had an amazing season, so I think as long as he builds off that, I don't see a reason why he won't still be the best catcher in the league going forward.
I agree. Well, that's our top 10 starting pitchers and catchers. Tune in next week to see the corners, first base and third base, top 10s. We'll take a quick break and then get into trivia. All right, welcome back. Let's get into our top 10 trivia for the week. J-Dub, this is my favorite segment of the show.
So did we have an official winner last week, or was it declared a draw? Right?
We drew.
Okay, so I'm going to let you guys decide who gets to pick which trivia we do. I got 2 different ones here that you guys can decide from.
Okay.
So who wants to pick?
You can pick.
Okay.
I'll pick.
So the 2 we have MLB postseason K leaders all time,
It's got to be hard.
or we have MLB postseason home run leaders all time.
Let's do home runs.
Okay.
Let's do home runs.
So we've got 14 guys, just because 10 through 14 are all tied with 18 total. So
You can start because I picked the segment.
10 is 18. Number 1 is 29.
Postseason homers.
Postseason home runs, yes.
Are we talking World Series era?
I mean, yes.
So there's no like guys from the 20s, like.
There is only one guy from the 20s. I'll give you guys that hint.
Go ahead.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter is number 5 with 20.
Where do I want to go first?
Do you even have one yet?
I need to think. Okay. Good. Jeter. I'll go. This is postseason or World Series?
Postseason.
Postseason. Give me Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols is number 7 with 19. It's quiet. I hear the gears turning.
Postseason home runs. There's got to be a Brave in there. Chipper Jones.
Chipper's not on this list.
Give me Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson is on this list with 18.
I'm just gonna rattle off Yankees until I can't anymore.
Postseason homers.
Yeah.
Chase Utley.
Chase Utley's not on this
Oh my
list.
God, I'm not doing good.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle is on this list with 18 as well.
Fuck. Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth is not on this
That's
list.
why I asked if the 20s were in there.
Mickey Mantle was the guy from those older
I don't
times.
think he's from the 20s.
Well, he's one of the older guys. I don't even know what year what year did Mickey Mantle play?
50s and 60s.
Oh, okay, so it's not that.
Alrighty then.
30 years off.
I will go with
Or you guys aren't thinking like
Sammy Sosa.
70s and shit. No.
Yeah.
No, like the postseason.
Eagles never had. Not one. Not one game.
Good guess, Tyler.
Thank you.
I bet
0.
I'm winning right now.
You got a point.
Jim Tomey.
No.
He's a big home run guy.
Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez is number 1 with 29.
Wow.
It hit me. That he
Uh,
put the
Manny
bunch.
was in bombs, boy.
Give me David Ortiz.
No.
Damn.
I only got 12 more. I'm gonna say Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds is not on this list.
Mark McGuire.
Mark McGuire is not on this list.
Oh, I have a couple names. I just thought of some.
I think I know exactly what it is.
Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams is at 3 with 22 home runs.
He was a beast.
Bernie!
Are we tied?
So now everyone
Yeah,
else,
tied.
you guys are tied 3-3. Everyone else on this list is 2000s or higher.
Okay.
Ah, man. Okay. This might be a horrible guess, but he's been in so many postseasons. I'm gonna go Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve is number 2 with 27 home runs.
Wow. Fuck. George Springer.
George Springer is on this list with 19 at number 9.
Now we're heating up.
I knew as soon as the first
Astro?
Astro rattled off, it was about to start moving.
Yeah. It's a horrible guess too. God. Freddie Freeman.
No,
Just thinking-
he's not.
There's this guy that had a crazy postseason one time,
Okay.
and
Is this the guy I brought up? a couple weeks ago?
I know he's got it. I'm just trying to figure out, did he hit like 6 or 7 more in other postseasons? Carlos Beltran on the list. Oh my God, he hit like 10 one postseason.
Jesus.
David Freese.
No.
He only had 2 good runs. He went.
The 2 good games.
No, he went crazy back-to-back postseason runs. He hit a bunch.
So you think he had 9 in each postseason is where you're pretty much going. If you had 2 good
I'm
postseasons.
sure the Cardinals made more postseasons, but
You're probably right.
Alex Bregman.
Alex Bregman is on this list at 19.
Oh, and we have a new leader.
From that shit you're talking about, I'm winning. Oh, I suck.
We have a new leader in the clubhouse.
maybe some more names.
Alex Rodriguez only hit 13 home runs in the postseason. He played 76 postseason games
Jeez,
and only hit 13 home runs.
that's crazy.
In 2009, he had 6 homers and 18 RBIs in the postseason. Jesus Christ.
Bryce Harper. Why is he acting these guesses are fucking stupid?
That's horrible.
He's been to like 5 or 6 postseasons.
Bryce Harper might not have 5. Maybe you might have 6.
If it's over 10, you gotta owe me a
It's
phone.
not over 10. I can guarantee that right now it's not over 10.
Might be.
Bryce Harper has.
Don't lie to me. Be honest with the number.
Okay. It's
Told you.
17. He was fringe.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Okay.
My guesses are wrong.
I didn't think he had. Okay. The rest of them. Actually, David Ortiz and Jim Thome both had 17.
Thank you.
those Indian teams.
They're home run kings, man.
Okay, but they're not on the top 14, so it doesn't matter, Tyler.
Not bad guesses, though.
They're not. I'll give you some. Fuck out of here.
This is the last Astro I'm gonna fire off. Jordan Alvarez.
No, Jordan Alvarez is not on this list.
Oh,
Thought of him?
Kike Hernandez. Oh,
No Kike. No Kike.
Miguel Cabrera.
No, that's a good guess though, but it's not me. That's instantly who my mind would have went to.
Oh, I got it.
He came over.
I know it. You better get it.
I know that he knows it too.
I know it. I know it. Me.
It's not Mitch Garver.
Yeah, guess Mitch Carter.
It's not Joey Gallo.
Yeah, guess
Definitely not Joey Gallo.
Definitely not.
When he missed his Cody, start saying like he did last time with little hints to see if I can know if you're right or not.
I already know him.
I'll give you the credit for it, and then we'll see if he can get it with some more help.
Ranger.
Not sure Michael Young ever suited up for the Mariners.
Oh, Adrian Beltre.
No,
Dang it.
that's actually a really good guess though.
Dang it.
Let me hear.
He was known as a DH. I
Yeah.
think he had one of his biggest. He might have hit as many home runs as his age one of his years. Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz.
Nelly.
I'm up to.
That's a good one. Nelson Cruz.
The reason why he retired with the Mariners is because he signed a 1 day.
Oh, really?
Because he
I
said he
did.
identified as a Mariner.
I should have had it, but Corey Seager.
There it is.
Damn it!
Let's
You
do
can't
it.
give the other hint though, saying you know Cody's got it because you
He
know
wouldn't
that's
get
my
that.
boy.
I would have.
I don't think that helps.
But you know that's my
Does-
boy.
You know that he's like a big Corey Seager fan
I'm not. I didn't. I would have got it, but yeah.
though? I feel like I only know that because I've heard him on the show.
Once I
You're
lost
like,
in Rangers, he was the pick. So
this guy's a leadoff hitter. Doesn't. I'll give you because that's not really that great of a hitter or a great
it's
hit.
not bad.
He's a leadoff hitter with a low batting average.
Oh damn it! That's so easy now. You gave it to him. You gave it to him. With the
Trying to act like
Fuck.
I don't know it, but I do know
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Big Daddy Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarbies.
that was the perfect hint. Fuck. I think he's gonna get it though.
He is.
Kristen Yelich.
No. It's a good guess though.
Teammate in the past,
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
That is the last one.
That was the last asshole we couldn't think of.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa.
I was like, there's no way you guys are dancing all around this fool.
Carlos
That's
Correa.
good.
If you didn't get it, you get my first time was gonna be he's a shortstop,
Yeah.
and that would have
We were
literally
gonna fire
wiped it
off.
away.
Carlos Correa.
Nice, dude. What was it 7-5?
7-5. Cody, I'm gonna declare this as the first official win of the
8-6
podcast.
is what it should have been.
Oh, correct. 8-6.
That's what did I say?
Yeah, I said 7-5.
Oh,
Yeah,
8-6.
8-6.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in this week. Hit the big red subscribe button down below. Hit the comment section to see if you have other opinions on top 10s. But we'll see you next week.
Yeah, let us know about the Devers, how you guys feel about that. Let us know, just whatever you guys want to tell us, because I don't know about you guys, but I love to read comments. That shit's fun for me. So please don't hesitate. Drop it down, drop us a follow. And yeah. Peace. See you next week.